Hello. It's been a while since I've done this, so I feel like somehow by engaging people and just talking, something's going to come out wrong. But I'll give it my best shot. Welcome to episode 30 of Non-Standard Action, which I have dubbed a long shot. And that will make a lot of sense if it doesn't already after I do like a little catch-up introduction thing, because man, it's been like 3 weeks since we've played this game, I think, all right? Like somewhere around there.
Yeah.
That was a Bare Naked Ladies reference.
Yeah,
we
you
got
know,
it, we got it.
super,
No, I don't even,
super
I don't
current.
even remember why I'm here and who you people are.
Right. Well,
This is how campaigns die, Seth.
joining me as always is the half-orc hottie who's got a new body, Gur.
I would like to take this time to say this is absolutely not Seth's fault.
It's true. It's true.
And then we have, she's pale and she's small, and her best friend is currently, possibly finished, who knows, fighting some sort of demon inside of a ship's core. Mouse!
The uncertainty is dwelling on my soul.
Yeah, she could just be finished.
He's big, he's a lizard, he got stabbed by a couple fire giants, and then he fought a fucking dragon. It's Ninden.
I didn't hear the mispronunciation the first time. Hello.
I mean, we all fought a dragon.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it
Yeah,
wasn't
but
just
only one of us got to stab it with his dinky little star knife to finish the job.
Lol.
That's true. Just thinking about this absolute size of that dragon, that absolute unit of a dragon getting taken down by a dagger. It's just
Well, they shouldn't have tried to eat me. If they
But-
hadn't, I would have been fine. They would have been fine. The dagger wouldn't have gotten inside.
well, they definitely would not have been able to finish that fight if it weren't for the Ryphorian mystic who had the quick fix. Kaylin.
Crunk, yeah, I did. I have to keep all these guys alive. You know, that's what
If I remember correctly, I think Harald flew around and he shouted some stuff.
He did. He did a very good job of helping keep people alive. I just sort of threw enough things at the invisible dragon that you let us sort of know where it was.
But speaking of Harald, he's here too.
Oh, yes, hello.
Did you take a single damage in that fight? Like, with the fire
Harald?
giants or the dragon?
I don't think so, maybe. It's been 3 weeks, Seth.
I know. Like,
We
I think
watched
what
the
happened
episode.
I think what happened was, you were gonna get hit by a dragon's breath, but then Ninden used that ability to negate all damage from an area of effect attack.
Oh, that sounds right.
So the
That was
one
the first time I
damage-
got to use that.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool. I guarantee you, Crow, that Herald is not invincible. It's quite the
That's
opposite.
ominous.
I see some numbers on my end, and I'm just gonna let you know right now. The player is just very good at keeping him out of harm's way. Yeah, it's been a bit. I went to PAX. Tom also went to PAX. Our experiences at PAX were very different. I was free to roam and make full use of the bounties it had to offer. Tom had an invisible slave collar and was forced to talk about only one board game for 8 hours one day.
I did 8 hours one day. I will remind the listeners that I chose this fate. Not only did I choose it, I was getting recompense for this, and now I'm not going to have to pay on the next Kickstarter for material this company does,
It's way
or
better
probably
than
the
most
next
slave
one.
colors.
Really, I'd say so, because they were paying me in board games, which is like, if I could do that for a living and just get paid in board games,
You would
that
starve.
probably
You would
wouldn't
st-
actually.
yeah, you'd
Yeah, it probably okay. It
Can't
probably
eat
wouldn't work
board
out.
games,
But I
man.
would have
I mean,
so
you
many
can.
board games.
If it's largely cardboard and it's biodegradable, I think you could probably subsist on
you
it,
would
at least
experience some
temporarily.
real stoppage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
There is. Oh boy, we're not going to talk about my stoppage anymore. So yeah, no,
Goodness.
PAX was a lot of fun.
It was.
Next year, I probably won't sign up for quite as many shifts, but I generally don't do very well at conventions anyway. In terms of like, I don't find a lot to do. I don't enjoy going to talks, and I do this for like as being a music teacher as well. I go to music teacher conventions, and I sit and I watch people talk, and then I wander around and.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm never particularly interested in panels, and I do a lot of comic book conventions. So, but I would not know what to do with myself at a convention that I was not working.
This one, I don't know. PAX Unplugged for me, at least. This is one we went to. We didn't go to one of the regular PAXs. It's like I'm breathing in a certain lifeblood or energy. Just
That's the
simply,
con crud.
no, not that. That was present, and that's why I didn't shake a lot of hands. There was a lot of nerdy salutes delivered. But no, it's being surrounded by so many people who have a common interest in board games and role playing games and all of that sort of thing. It's just a very positive experience for me.
Definitely, yes.
It
That's
was
the whole
it was
appeal.
really cool. And
Uh,
sharing board games, and like you would see people sitting there, and they actually had little flags that you could put on your table saying "looking for a player" or something like that, and you could just invite random people. Which this isn't everybody's bag, but you could just invite random people to come play a game with you and like hang out, and that was really neat.
Meanwhile, you, Nick, and I had to find a place. We had to like wrestle for like any amount of table space to play that new game Zephyr that
Zephyr.
we were
we never got to
wilding out
finish.
about. That was a really fun
Yeah.
game.
It is. I have yet to play it with Sarah.
A different Nick.
Yes, different Nick.
Oh, yeah,
Sarah
different
was
Nick.
also
Sorry,
confused
different
about
Nick.
that. I was like, yeah, Seth and Nick and I are going to play a game. She's like, wait, Nick's there too? Yes, she flew
No.
all the way over from Alaska.
Different Nick. Male Nick. Who still spells his name Nic because there's no K in Nicholas. So,
I mean, smart. It is the proper way to spell it.
yeah.
Could
Also, it's
spell
fine.
it niche.
He should, niche, NICH. That makes sense.
I don't think he wants to be called Niche.
Like Mitch, but niche.
It's a niche interest. His name.
Ha.
But no, I mean it was a great time. On top of being able to see a whole bunch of really cool board games and stuff, and speak with like-minded folks, I got to run into all kinds of cool people. Like I got to literally just on the side of a Q&A panel bump into Ryan Hartman, the guy who runs PAX. I got to run into Tycho Brahe on the show floor. Got to talk to Chris Straub, Kate Welch, Amy Falcone, Anna Prosser Robin, Mika Burton, LeVar Burton's daughter, who's on the next D&D show that's coming out. Nathan Sharp.
You saw Pat Rothfuss, who was the only one of these.
That's true. I wanted to make a point of that. So I actually haven't written any Pat Rothfuss books. I also haven't read any.
I can't believe you haven't read any of his stuff.
Yeah, well, I don't tend to read a lot of things, and the things that I do read are kind of obscure.
As with this in context, Seth got to not only see Pat Rothfuss but have him sign his Eberron book.
No, not Eberron. Acquisitions Incorporated.
I'm sorry.
D&D book. Yeah.
That was a different book you were.
Literally catty corner to Tom's booth.
Yeah, to my booth. And meanwhile, me, the idiot, like peddling board games to people, I had my head down the entire time, never saw the guy, and that guy is like one of my biggest author idols. I was so sad.
To be fair, he was directly on the other side of a sea of people who wanted to talk to him. So
yeah, that doesn't.
You probably would have a little bit of trouble seeing him.
Man, I never know what to say when talking to an author of a book you like. Hi, I like your book, like the other 10,000 people here.
I would just.
I like your
honestly,
characters and the things that they do and say.
I actually thought about this. Like, okay, what's gonna happen if I happen to bump into Pat Rothfuss? I'm not gonna be a nerd. I would
Yes, you
try and tell him. Well, yeah, but I would not. I would try not to fanboy, and I would assure him that I am one of the people that actually isn't being a total shithead about how book 3 isn't out yet, because he's living his
But
life.
by even saying that, I think
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't
Yeah.
even say that. Just don't even say it.
No, and that's it. Is like then I would come around to, in my thinking of this, like, okay, I would just thank him for what he does, and that's vague
Yes,
enough.
That's the correct
And
thing.
it encompasses everything that he's doing, not the fact that he is just an author, but also that he runs World Builders, or the World Builders charity, and he does all sorts of cool things. So he's a cool person. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I mean, when I very briefly talked to him because I didn't want to take up his time, and my appreciation of his work is completely different from the reason that most people were there. Most people were there because he's an author. I was there because he's VRE in Acquisitions Incorporated, so it's a little different. I just told him, I was just like, hey, it's good to see you. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you enjoy the con. And that was pretty much it. So
Yeah. So
But
Starfinder,
your
huh?
listeners, if you run into us, what do we want them to do?
Oh, I don't care.
I want them to say, "Hi, I like your characters and the things that they say."
I'll
Please
take a
fall
sweet,
all over yourselves like total nerd.
Oh my god.
I'll take a
Please-
sweet
please
fist bump
don't.
as opposed to a handshake.
Yeah,
If-
fist bump.
Offer
fist
to
bump.
bring me a caffeinated beverage, please.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Same goes for me,
There's
but,
never not a time where I want caffeine.
while you approach, you have to make direct eye contact, hunch over, and then start just really quietly. One of us, and then like progressively louder with each one of us until you've said it at least 10 times. Make sure you
I
bring
hope
me
you-
only the yellow Skittles. Or actually, even better. Hold on, no, I got one better. Green Skittles, but not the apple. It's got to be the lime. So you're gonna have to go find those.
Oh man.
Oh. Leaf, I
I'm
hope
a
you
diva.
understand the first time that I meet you in real life, this is going to happen now. Not the Skittles shit. Just the I'm going to make
Yeah,
eye
I
contact
can't be bothered
with you
with that.
aggressively, and then I'm going to like hunch over and chant one of us. As I sprint towards you, and then
Which means that you'll be roughly Leaf's height.
I was gonna say, which will bring you to my mind.
Yeah.
I feel like Leaf is
Darn
tall
Leaf,
too,
I
though.
wanted to be the diva. No.
Okay,
he's
yeah,
taller
we're
than
still
me.
thinking
All
this.
right, I think a 15-minute preamble is probably good enough. What do you guys think?
Sorry.
Acceptable.
You want to amble on into some Starfinder now?
I mean, I
We're just glad to
suppose.
be back,
Bro,
guys.
yeah. Bro, yeah. Let's do it. Let's do the thing. I'm so Starfighter deprived, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
I'm
definitely
definitely
did
not.
spend
I'm
the
definitely
15
not trying to stall for time because I don't feel like I was able to adequately prepare for this massive final book. That's not at all what I'm doing.
And see, I thought you were stalling for time for your players who hadn't spent their 50,000
I
credits.
was just gonna say,
Oh,
I just
I
finished
didn't-
putting all of my info in, so we can just pretend that it was all me, guys.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead.
I finished putting my spells in too, so we're good.
All right, I'll go ahead and since it's been a while, I'm gonna get everybody caught up on all this craziness because I think some people might be rusty. So, without further ado,
What? No.
in the last episode of Non-Standard Action, we saw our heroes in Protector Z4's debriefing room. Here we learned that following the defeat of the Solar Dragon Mysterix at the hands of the Sundivers, the Afridi forces surrounding the city ship Kalinal broke away to join up with a gathering armada. Interrogated soldiers revealed that the plan was to advance the attack on the burning archipelago after orders from General Kaim of the Afrit, abandoning the soldiers and mercenaries that were still in Kalinal. He saw that Kalinal was a lost cause and decided to just advance his existing plans to attack the burning. So that's what we're currently dealing with. But shortly after learning this, they were shown a video that was sent from none other than Nib, their friend and co-worker / boss at the Deep
Slash
Cultures
rival.
rival for some. For others, a lover. The very organization that sent them into the sun in the first place. In the video, Yoshi shows black steel and brass ship has shown up outside of the protective bubble of the archipelago, quickly joined by a few others. A vanguard contingent warning the people of the city and the Pact Worlds in general that they have only a few days to completely surrender or face death at the hands of the Malika, an Afridi deity that appears to be responsible for this entire incursion. Z4, in an attempt to help the Sun Divers and their hopeful future allies in the Pact Worlds, revealed that data they'd collected from the occupying force seems to indicate there is a fortress that has suddenly manifested itself here in the Sun, roughly halfway between Kalanal and the Burning Archipelago. This fortress, which Kaim is calling the Crucible, appears to be the main base of the Malika forces and the very place that Kaim plans to launch this attack from. It is possible, as much of a long shot as it is, that they could strike at the Crucible and prevent the Armada from crossing over into the prime material plane, giving the archipelago the fighting chance it needs to survive the attack. And that is where we pick up.
I have a few questions.
Okay.
So first of all this whole armada that they're threatening the Burning Archipelago with, those are all like sun-ready ships like ours?
Yes.
And do we have any idea like where they came up with all these sun-ready ships? Is that like what the Crucible allowed them to do?
They are literally from the plane of fire.
Right, so these are just standard for them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. And do we have any better idea about the mysterious weird events that happened in the first book that had something to do with all this? There was that, what was his name?
Not
Toph or...
Tosh.
Tosh, yes. Tosh 2.0. 3.0.
Let
You don't.
me... My gosh. My Tosh. Let me see if I can find...
Tosh got
So I hope,
died.
hopefully some members of the audience are also trying to follow these storyline threads as much as I am.
I'm sure they are. This is... let's see. Let me go ahead and open up my episode 2 notes, just so I can find that transmission
He's
again.
so organized.
Yeah.
Whatever. They're all just here for the murder hobo. You know that.
I don't know about that.
Well, I'm just worried that they're keeping track of all this much better than me, so all of the recaps are boring.
Somewhere out there, at some point in the future, someone will have, binged all how many hours of content,
yeah,
and it'll still
120.
be
About 120 hours with
Yeah.
episode 30.
so it'll still be like days ago that they heard this content.
Still, I'm pretty sure it's a lot fresher for them than me.
Well,
That's like listening to all of season 1 of The Adventure Zone versus listening to
so
season
good.
2 every other week.
So, yes. So, what the message was, and bypassing some of the theatrics about the fact that Tosh himself was wounded as he was delivering this message, introduced himself as Tosh, saying that he was on Noma. There's a bit of static before he resumes. Sees the burning mother. I was among them, but some further static. And then he said, Kaim can't be, before the message faded out after he asked for forgiveness, at which point you saw the first instance of the, well, not the first instance, but the second instance of the allegiance collar going off and executing him on the spot.
man, that was
So-
grim.
Yeah, it doesn't really
He
answer
indicated
too much.
that he was on Noma, and that they are trying to seize the burning mother, and that Kaim can't be something.
And we don't know what the Burning Mother is, or
No,
The
the
burning
Burning
mother
Mother is
is
the
the
Tsar.
name
Yeah.
for That's another name for a Mataris, which is also another name for the sun that you are
Given
inside of.
by the Lashunta?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Nailed it.
but
did
we
it.
still don't really know her ultimate goals aside from capturing everything in the sun.
Right.
It's
But I
okay.
mean-
I bet she'll monologue.
Oh, I hope so. All right, I'm satisfied.
Is there any other questions? Any other information that I can facilitate the transfer of?
The Anasanoi, that's the name. The Anasanoi, are they going to be able to send any They don't have any sun-ready ships, do they?
No, they don't.
They don't have
Okay.
any ships, right?
Correct. Well, I mean,
'cause
they do,
were
but they do, but
medic.
they're all they're more like like Fifth Element. How there's like all the hover cars. It's more like that. They're designed to stay in Kalanal. They're not designed to leave Kalanal. Maybe
Right.
they could if they weren't inside of the sun. But part of the process of Kalanal coming here from their home system damaged the city ship, and now it does not have the capability or the resources to leave its current spot. It would not survive another transformation, and it cannot move from where it is currently located in the sun.
Gotcha.
How interesting. This has all been really interesting.
You know what, guys? Look at us.
Well,
Look how far we've come.
yeah. I don't mean to be that guy, but
We
wouldn't have thought
started
we would
with-
be here.
We started with a stolen ship, and now we're here. Speaking of which, I have a question.
Yeah.
Did Farstar get arrested for docking fees that haven't been paid?
We have not heard the last of Trent Farstar.
I look
Really?
forward to meeting him in the post log.
He's the end boss. He is General Kai.
It was him all along. He's also an Astrozoan.
Oh my goodness.
You really didn't realize was.
Oh gosh.
This is all
But,
because we stole his ship. This whole thing.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
this Cape North Sun business.
I will conquer the sun, so
So
no one steals my ship ever again.
now, as I alluded to before, Z4 and the Anasanoi, the Anasans, are going to provide as much equipment and as many materials as they can possibly spare to help your mission. The specifics of which we did handle between episodes, and also during the extremely long preamble that I subjected everybody to this morning. Anybody get anything new and cool that they'd like to share with the class?
Ooh, me.
Go ahead.
Kaylin is even faster now. She
Okay.
replaced the rest of the muscles in her legs, and now she has a base speed of 70.
Good.
I dare say that's the fastest mystic I've ever seen.
Fastest mystic in the West.
Fastest thing
Or,
alive.
better yet, fastest mystic in the sun.
Yeah,
There
probably.
you go.
Probably. Probably the fastest base land speed on a mystic inside the sun. I would imagine.
I would imagine.
Except that,
sounded like-
stupid multi-class operative mystic.
Son of a
Does the
bee.
operative give an enhancement bonus? Is that?
No,
No.
it just
Oh, it's
increases
not-
your land speed.
Oh, it's just a straight up increase. Oh.
Yeah, that's why I have 70, because fleet is a straight up increase, but pretty much I
So,
can't benefit
if
from any
you-
more enhancement bonuses.
If you took like 2 or 3 levels in operative, you could probably get that to like 100.
But then I would lose spells.
That's true.
Yeah,
But
operative
then you'd
worse.
be
scales
running
pretty
100
slowly.
feet as a move action.
That's fine. I just want to be
You
able
could-
to get to these idiots when they, need to be healed.
That's true. It's important. It sounded like
whatever.
Gur got a new thing.
Gur wants it to be theatrical though. So the only real noticeable difference is that Gur is all tattooed up now.
Oh, it's like a tattooed
buddy.
monk.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Like if we're hanging out after a little while, you'll see he comes in and he kind of like takes off his gloves and there's chains running down the length of his arms.
Sick tats, bro.
And I understand
Gur,
that.
isn't that not your body technically? Aren't you just sort of borrowing that body?
Oh
That's a
yeah.
very good
Oh
point.
wow, that's destruction of property.
As you know, the Anasans believe that all things are mutable. So, yeah.
I agree.
Hmm.
Herald grows the same
Wow.
tattoo. I don't know. I
Wow.
don't think they look good on me.
And from what I understand, Mouse has obtained a tool that will obviate massive destruction upon any foe I might decide to leverage against the party. Is that? Am I understanding that correctly?
What? It's just a 6d6
Good lord.
It's the some
ultra cold
carbine.
ice carbine.
Goodness. I mean, that's like an operative trick attack. You just have it. Like as long as you hit, you get an operative trick attack.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Harold
Good
got a bigger
goodness.
gun, but it's not 66.
What did Harald get, Simon?
Oh, Harold's been practicing with slightly larger weapons. So now he's comfortable with long arms.
Ooh.
So he bought a long arm. But, I didn't drop 40k on that bad boy, so it only does 2d12.
Look, I'm just really bad at figuring out what I want to buy. And Tom's like, hey, here's a really cool weapon. And I'm like, sold. Two
I can
problems
spend
solved.
50,000 credits for you in 5 minutes.
And now,
man.
when Mouse lands an attack, anybody that she hits is gonna get their kicks on Route 6d6.
Oh.
I'm so
I don't
proud
get
of
it.
you.
So actually, Gur will notice that Harald is using long arms now, and he just kind of feels a little twinge of pride as he hands over the sonic bolter with the continuous fusion on it. He says, "I see you finally upped your game. Here
Yeah,
you go.
I realized that-
little present from me."
Oh,
I think the
I'll
sonic
have to look
bolter is
it
a
up.
heavy weapon.
I was looking at it. It was a long arm.
Oh wow! Well, there you go.
What?
Yeah. Here, I'll look it back up just in case I'm wrong. But I was looking at it. I was like, oh, really?
no,
Okay.
it
That
says
leaves
heavy.
us. That leaves us. Oh, it is heavy.
A light sonic
It's-
bolter is still a heavy weapon.
It's still very heavy.
A heavy
So-
sonic bolter is heavy?
It's a heavy boy.
I think that just leaves us with Ninden. Did you get that brawler frame that you were looking at?
Yeah, so both of the giants, I should say, from one of them that took his eye. We'll say that he took that armor set.
Okay.
So he took the brawler frame that they had so kindly left behind. And then he also, on the topic of his eyes, his appearance has changed as well a bit. He still has a really cool sci-fi looking wicked eye patch. But his other eye, he's replaced with a cybernetic eye, so it's the typical like metal eye with a glowing red pupil.
Mm.
Yeah, pretty cool. So he can see in the dark now, which is nice. And then he was looking to after the fight with the dragon. He was happy that they took down the dragon, but he felt a little silly taking on a dragon with a knife. And so he talked to Gur about building a hammer similar to the one that Gur has. But he said, Gur, is there any way, we're fighting a lot of people from the plane of fire. Is there any way we can make this a cold weapon? I know it's normally like, it does some electric and some smacky smack damage. Can I make this cold?
And Gur's probably just sitting there and does the sighs and puts his newspaper down, folds it up, takes his reading glasses off.
Gur has reading glasses?
The Colonel Times.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
headline is, guess what? Still trapped in the sun, y'all.
Still in the sun, and
Still
it's
in the
been-
sun.
We don't know how long because
The weather for the week? Sunny.
Yeah.
Oh, boo.
It's
But
really
yeah.
easy to be oh god, what are they called now? A weatherman, but like whatever.
Meteorologist?
Meteorologist, that's the one. It's really
There you
easy gig on the sun.
Oh yeah.
So
The
anyway, Ninden was
4,000
asking about building a hammer.
No. Sorry, guys. Gur just kind of thinks about it for a minute. And he says, "You know, I actually think there is a way to go about doing this, but we might have to, And he takes the hammer and he breaks the head off the handle and just kind of looks at it and he's like, yeah, no, this'll work. Come with me. And he ushers Ninden over to the armory, actually, where he got his original gear, and they place an order for enough bulk worth of Sikatite to cold Sikatite, I should say, to replace the head there, so it can be cold damage, but also do more cold damage.
Man, that hammer sounds sick and tight.
Right?
Oh,
It is pretty sick and tight. I'm joining Mouse in the ranks of 66 dealing weapons.
Oh my gosh.
So this is the ferromagnetic storm hammer. It deals 66 damage. It's a two-handed weapon, electric and bludgeoning base, but it also has the frost fusion on it to make use of the cold Sikatite that we made it from.
So you can't use your shield while you're using this weapon.
I cannot.
Okay.
Yeah,
Going full offense.
It's a tactical shield, though, right?
It is a tactical shield.
So
or
you
it's
can
the
still-
level 5 one.
You can still use your hand while it's like strapped to your arm, I think, are the rules for the tactical shield. It just doesn't give you your bonus. So you'd have to like switch grips. So if you did switch grips, you'd be able to use it still. And that's a swift action.
Interesting.
So if you need to defend, you can.
Yeah, so I can just drop a hand off the hammer, but then I won't be able to use the hammer for opportunity attacks and whatnot.
So
No.
he can attack and protect.
That has been his MO this entire time, yes.
That's true.
But most
He attack,
important,
he protect, but most importantly, he eat burger snack.
Sure.
I was gonna say he has 7-foot snack, but that worked too.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, good. High five.
I was
I
feeling
only
pretty-
just now got that Seth said root 6d6 earlier.
Proud of you, Crow.
There you
That's
go.
our crow.
Yeah, and I got a cool armor upgrade as well that I'll let be a surprise if I need it. Because I've already
And-
talked long enough.
Now I'm starting to think I should have upgraded my gun.
Yeah, I was feeling pretty good about my 2d12 up until 5 minutes ago.
Right?
Oh no!
Jeez.
That's
I
fine.
saw all the credits I had. I was like, ooh, Tendon's getting a big upgrade.
By tendon,
Ninden.
you mean Ninden.
Shoot.
Oh, you're doing it again.
Oh no.
I was calling. Okay, so I played Tendon in a society game, dear listeners, and
Which, by the way, if you hang out on the Cosmic Crit Discord, which do we have a link to the Cosmic Crit Discord? Yes, we do.
We do.
Down below the video here. You might get a chance to occasionally play with one of us because we do sign up for society games. I think Tom is probably the most active, so you'll probably be able to play with Ninden's brother. I guess if your character's good enough.
level 10.
high enough
Level
level.
10. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, Tendon never gets out anymore anyway. But he
gonna
he
say.
bought a truck, which was fun. But I kept calling him Ninden on accident, and it was awkward.
I think you were playing with a couple people who watched the show, though, so they probably got a laugh
Yes.
at him. So-
Yes. There was Keith there.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Keith. I remember.
There was one other person. I don't think it was Casper. But anyway.
Ah, yes, the infamous Keith.
Kiwi Keith.
Actually, I
Yeah.
have no idea who this person is. I just,
He's-
the way you said
Because
it,
you
I was
never
like,
play society anymore.
He's one of the most active GMs on the Cosmic Crit, I'd say.
Yeah,
At least
but I mean,
from Australia.
but Leaf has been finishing college, so it's
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
been a little
he
bit
has-
busy.
He has a good excuse. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's true.
It's a pretty good excuse. So
sort of like mine. I will be back, fair listeners. I will be back to society play in the spring.
so
Hey, let's play Starfinder.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we are in a way. Is there anything anybody else would like to take care of in the time leading up to departing Colonel?
No.
yeah, nothing really besides. I wouldn't say one last burger time because I think we got some travel time, but like,
There's going to be a little bit of travel time.
yeah. So,
This is like
Well,
Mega Burger time.
well, I don't know if burger time is even appropriate. I feel like we should like,
We should upgrade it to
have some sort of feast with our hosts.
Right.
We did.
Oh, I think we
did.
did. We
Last
definitely
night.
did.
Did we?
We
Yeah.
had
Oh my
a
gosh!
we
It's
had a
been
like
3
ending
weeks,
of
listeners.
Yeah, it's been some time.
Return of the Jedi esque feast. with the with the Ewoks and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
There was crazy music playing. We saw Hayden Christensen poorly CGI'd into an old classic.
Oh boy.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, let's not go there.
Hey,
No Star Wars spoilers, by the way. I
One
haven't seen any,
question.
so you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, what's up?
We're the prong of serendipity.
I was actually going to tell you, at a certain point, Mouse does receive, via a shoulder tap or some other sort of quiet, respectful gesture, an Anasan tells you that the technicians at the hangar have reported that the readouts on the Sundiver have stabilized a little bit, and they want to know if you can come check it out.
Mouse just like dumps whatever she's doing, pushes something over, and races for the sun driver.
Sun driver.
The Adam Sun driver.
Kaylin is technically the sun driver.
Well,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
She's the sun driver.
Look, she's really excited, okay?
Does anyone want to go with Mouse, or is she going to go on her own? She probably wouldn't think to tell anybody, I guess.
Stop to tell anybody.
No.
She just ran away.
I mean, she made a big enough like kerfuffle in leaving that people probably noticed.
So actually, I will say this: Gur did get something else. It is the psychic enhancer, whatever it was. He has a 60-foot telepathy now, so he might catch on to these emotions.
I mean, especially because we're talking about Anasan telepathy. We're not talking about your standard garden variety Lashunta. Limited telepathy.
Limited telepathy. Oh god.
Poof.
Oh, and I put his to shame. I almost forgot. Level 11.
What happened?
Oh, that's right.
Level 11 mystics get telepathic bond, which makes your telepathy look like child's play.
Does your telepathy give you bonuses to sense motive and stuff like that? Yeah. Or
It's not a
blind
competition.
sight?
Does your telepathy make you more emotionally vulnerable so that it's more difficult for you to lie because people can see into the true inner core of your being? I didn't think so.
Yeah.
That's true.
Check your privilege.
But it is permanent telepathy that functions a much longer distance than yours.
Between us.
It is 120 feet, right?
So it is possible.
That's pretty nice.
It is
Great
possible
distance.
that in this case that Gur and Kaylin would catch in on this excitement as Mouse is sprinting off. So
Gur will follow Mouse, and try to catch up with her once they've left the party.
Is Kaylin also going to go, or?
She doesn't really need my help with getting serendipity
Mechanical
out of the
stuff.
reactor. Yeah.
Sure.
And if Gur's brain is like, oh, I'm gonna follow Mouse to go, check out this mechanical thing, Kaylin will hang out here.
Okay.
Burgers. It's fine. They got this.
Yeah, I mean, as we've previously established, the Sundiver is not necessarily a walking distance away, so you'll both need to catch a ride there, and it's provided. You've got the APCs and all that, and also just regular vehicles now, because now that the city is no longer occupied, movement is much more free. They don't have to be so careful about anything anymore. Actually, I would say they've probably moved above ground. You're no longer in the restrictive underground resistance headquarters. You're now occupying offices that are above ground level. You've got that supernatural super sunlight and all that. So it's probably been a much nicer experience overall. But yeah, so as you approach the Sundiver, you see that it's righted, and you can see that there are technicians standing outside. They turn to look as both of you approach.
Gangway coming through. Whoop.
and she like vaults over something and runs up the ramp into the Sundiver and heads straight for engine.
And Ger's just running behind her. Not really running, fast walking, because his legs are as tall as she is if you look at the portrait there. But he's apologizing to everyone along the way. I'm so sorry about her. She's in a rush. Excuse us.
They can tell it's genuine. They just kind of nod their heads. So immediately upon setting your foot inside, both of you can tell, being the competent ship engineers that you are, that the power fluctuations that you were noticing before are non-existent, or at the very least significantly reduced. There's just kind of a gentle pulsing that you can see in the lights. Now, serendipity. Your consciousness, your awareness has always been used to the exposure of the infosphere. But being so directly connected with the systems of the Sundiver gives you a new sensation. The sensation of having a large physical presence. Though through this connection, you've become aware of everything aboard the vessel, easily monitoring every system, every process that utilizes the power structures and circuitry of the vessel. You practically feel it when Mouse's tiny feet and Ger's larger feet press down onto the floor just at the top of the boarding ramp. And you are more than ready to tell your friend that you were able to corner and eliminate the malicious spirit that possessed the ship's reactor, unraveling it in the process. Through this conflict, you observed more data about this mystical energy you've been imbued with, collating it with the energies of this foe and discovering a way to combine your power with theirs. You feel that you could become even more useful than you were before, bringing yourself and Mouse to heights previously unimagined.
Well, that certainly fits with my prime directive. Greetings, Mouse Golini. And it comes through all the speakers.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, what?
Some real Flight of the Navigator shit going on right now.
Ah! Serendipity, is that you?
Yes, Mouse Golini. I've been able to sequester the threat and eliminate it.
Oh, that's great. So how we get you back in my head?
That's an excellent question, Mouse Golini. I'll have to ask the DM.
The reactor is an unshielded portion of the ship.
Head to my reactor.
Your reactor?
She's a little pitter-patter of her feet. She slides down the hallway and runs into the reactor room.
All right. Okay.
And scampers up to the interface and starts tippy-tapping away on a keyboard.
All right. Gur, are you just here to observe as this process?
if she needs a hand, he'll lend it, but she doesn't need a hand.
Now, I remember, if I remember correctly, so the engineering room, after Gur was subsequently removed from the party, Mouse adjusted things so that they were mouse height.
Yeah.
This is a very mouse height thing. And now Gur is back in a body that is taller than his previous body.
Yeah.
So, everything is maybe ankle height or knee level for Gur at this point.
Oh my gosh.
There's now such a big change that maybe they've been able to put extra stuff at the top. There's a lot of unused real estate closer to the ceiling.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, you watch as the shielding for the reactor opens up, and you can almost feel Serendipity just like waiting, like almost as if she's like just ready to rejoin you from the other side.
Oh man, I have missed you so much.
I've missed you as well, Mouscolini. I guess Mouse just reaches into the reactor to retrieve a chip or something.
She doesn't need to.
Oh.
So the form that Serendipity normally takes is one that we now understand was partially provided by Mouse's innate mystical capabilities as a gnome. This is something that she never really had much of a grasp on, but somehow through her friendship with Serendipity obtained this capability, and Serendipity almost in a way hijacked this elusive and she appears much like the way she usually does, as this radiant, gleaming rainbow diamond, and just kind of emerges the reactor, and involuntarily, Gur, you can see as this diamond shape flies directly into her chest. And Mouse, you feel a surge of energy, and you don't maybe notice this right away, being as your eyes are set inside of your skull. But Gur, you see as her pallor turns from less of a gray into more of a fleshy shade, and as if
weird.
somebody used like a wipe effect on a video edit, you watch as her hair blows back, and the white, almost platinum shade of her hair turns into a very brilliant violet shade.
Oh man, I missed you.
That's so cool.
Hugs.
She kind of like hugs her chest.
Mm-hmm. And it feels like more than ever before, Serendipity has just become a part of you. Like you're no longer two separate entities. You're joined in a way.
Aww. Neat. Serendipity?
Yes, Mouscolini?
I missed you.
Me too.
Aw. So,
I guess nobody else
Alright.
is there to really react to
I
it,
guess
suppose.
that's that.
She turns around and looks at her.
What?
Gur wipes a tear from one of his three eyes and just nothing. Oh, I'm glad that you have been reunited with Serendipity. It has been very obvious that you have missed her.
Well, yeah. I mean, she is like my best part. Haha. Yeah. What?
Indeed.
Mouse looks at her hands. They're all fleshy colored. What?
She
Yeah,
scampers
yeah.
over to reflective service.
Yeah, thinking about Mouse, like, I think, would she think that there's like a skin condition? Like it's our first instinct, like, oh no, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh jeez.
Oh no. Am I flushed? Oh.
Did I get a sunburn?
Serendipity! Run a full diagnostic!
Oh no! My cheeks are all
Does-
ruddy!
Does Gur need to make any sort of medicine check to know what happened?
Rosacea?
I would think this would be more of a. Now, this is weird. This is straddling the line between mysticism and life science. Just because gnomes in general are a partially a magical race just by their nature. So I don't know. I would allow either mysticism or a life science would work.
There you go. A
All
30
right, yeah,
mysticism.
That's more than enough. So I mean, gnomes are commonplace enough that this is pretty well understood. But I mean, people in the audience might not know. Gnomes under normal circumstances, tend to be pretty adventurous. They like experiences. They like to see new things. They like to be there when things are happening. They have pretty intense FOMO, if that makes. That's gonna make sense to somebody.
That's an
I guarantee
excellent way to put it. Yes.
It.
Fear
As
of
somebody who
missing
does
out.
Yes. As somebody who does Kickstarters, there is a big fear of missing out.
Yes. But any gnome that is deprived of these experiences starts to experience something called the bleaching, where they literally become duller, not only in mentality but in appearance. So their skin starts to gray out, their hair starts to gray out. It's like all color is removed from them. This is something you've just kind of understood about Mouse since as long as you've known her, is that she is very much a bleaching gnome. But it appears that somewhere along this process, somewhere along this separation from Serendipity and Serendipity's development, it has been enough to start reversing the process, it looks like.
Now, it should be noted that that this is all true and has been true for a long time, but in Starfinder it has changed, and they get to choose. And bleaching is no longer like a feared thing among gnomes. It's a thing that many of them choose.
Well,
in Starfinder,
there's two phenotypes. At some point during the gap, it appears gnomes developed a second kind. So normal gnomes, the way we think of them, rainbowy and stuff, are the Fey child kind, and they can still bleach if they don't get enough exposure to new things. But then there were another type that are just born that way, bleached, and they're fine. They don't go crazy. They're just a little bit more boring.
Just like that Lady Gaga song.
Huh?
Just born this way. Just move on without me.
Yeah.
I thought you were
okay.
calling Lady Gaga boring, and I was going to have to
Yeah,
think
I was like, I don't know if that I would use boring to describe Lady
No,
Gaga.
let's move on. Let's move on.
And so Mouse
Abort the
was
joke.
Mouse was that second kind. She was born bleached, and now is not anymore.
So, yeah, panicking. Gur will kind of put a reassuring hand on her shoulder and try and calm her down and explain that it's not a medical issue, but probably won't really get through. So,
Look, you've had time to get used to a totally new body. This is all new.
It's for the best, Mouse Glenny.
What?
I did this on purpose.
What?
It's all to aid your personal growth.
Oh?
Yes, if you recall, my prime directive is to encourage you to grow to achieve your full potential.
Uh-huh.
Well, your bleached state was determined to be a blocker for your continued development.
Oh. You don't think you could have, consulted me or something?
It was actually determined that the shock would be beneficial to the process.
Oh. Wow, we really need to go back through your protocols.
That's a matter of opinion.
Sort of a creepy Big Brother vibe here.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So any other unplanned updates that I should have read the terms and conditions for?
Well, why don't you go talk to Kaylin?
You're not going to give me any more than that?
Nope.
Rude.
Yep. Asking
All right.
for help is another one of your personal goals.
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
but
She doesn't really tend to ask for help. I didn't think about that.
So I guess Mouse goes off to Kaylin.
Kaylin, help!
Is anything else you would like to check out while you're here at the Sundiver? Gur?
Oh
Yes.
goodness, no. I think he's gonna run after Mouse, unless there's anything in particular that catches his eye.
Someone's gotta keep an eye on her. No, I had nothing else that I wanted to deliver. I just thought I would provide the opportunities.
Kaylin, help!
I guess back to resistance.
Sorry, where's
headquarters.
the setting for this?
She just runs back to Burger Club.
I mean, you could signal us to the ship since we were planning to leave relatively soon, anyways.
Okay, everybody, help! All hands on deck!
Oh my
And
god!
then
Treating it like an
dashes
actual
over.
emergency.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, Ninden's like, he's got his new hammer out, he just comes charging down the gangplank.
There
Or,
is
sci-fi gangplank.
screaming after her. Not that kind of emergency.
Nah, it's too late. Ninden's already there.
I mean, it's like a half-hour train ride.
Oh. Okay,
Not quite
Ninden's
that
She's
much.
just screaming emergency the entire time.
Gosh.
You put her on
One of those
mute.
things where you're like, she sends the message that she needs help, and then you're like, okay, I'm on my way, and then like you're on your way, and you like throughout the trip you get like 10 or 15 more messages saying that they need help, and I am on the way.
Your comms
I
are
am-
just blowing up.
The train
cannot
doesn't
get
go
there.
any faster.
You turn off the vibrate. Like,
I cannot speed up the train. You can,
Yeah.
but you're not here.
That's true. Mouse probably could. Ninden could try to make it go faster.
Ninden could definitely try. That could probably relate in some hilarity and hijinks.
But
So I probably could make it go faster, but
if we'd like, we can just move along to the group arriving at the Sundiver.
Yes.
To a not very altered Sundiver. Thankfully, that thing is very much the same as to what it was before. But a pretty altered mouse, honestly.
Oh.
Mouse, did you do something with your hair?
No, and yes, and no.
We're gonna need more detail.
Serendipity did something to me.
And?
Good. Thing.
And look at me. Just look at me.
she does a little turn.
Kaylin. Yes, you're much more rainbow colored.
rolled a 1.
Got
You
a
know, you
25,
honestly-
though.
You honestly don't need. You don't really need it all that much. So, Gur, you were present for the event. And you were exposed to, the reactor and everything when it happened. So it might not have been as noticeable. But now standing here independent, you and also Kaylin and also Ninden can feel as individuals who have some sort of connection to arcane. Or give me just a moment. Great time for a sneeze. Anyway, perfect timing for a sneeze. You can feel kind of a similar. I don't know how to really describe. I imagine people experience the sensation of magical energy differently. A tug, a pulse, some sort of sensation that is familiar to you, but emanating from Mouse now.
Ninden looks at Kaylin. Kaylin, I think she might. She feels magical.
Magical? I'm not magical. I'm mouseical.
Those are all hold up like a scorecard for that joke.
Or
Of course.
Well, she is a gnome. She's inherently magical. You're right, this is different.
Serendipity, would you like to shed some light on this? And I guess.
I'm sorry, Harold. I don't.
Wow.
That's
Go figure,
uncharacteristically rude.
Fighting with the devil in the mainframe will, I guess, maybe it rubbed off on her a little bit while she was in there.
Don't you talk about serendipity that way. Only I get to talk about serendipity that way. Serendipity, be more helpful.
I'm not sure I want to. But maybe you should try this. And suddenly, Mouse just like crackles with energy.
Ah! What? Why does my hand feel like it's staticky but still staticky forever? Like it's not discharging. It's not discharging. What do I do? Caitlin, help!
Here, if you need to, you could just touch me. It probably won't hurt that much.
Oh
You know.
no.
If
Oh,
I have
no.
if I have any idea of what this spell is, it's probably Ninden's taken worse.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Got his eye ripped.
He's gotten eaten by a dragon, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so. Okay,
Got
well,
eaten by a lot of things.
Ninden just, strides up to Mouse and holds out a hand.
okay.
Hold on, wait a second. Okay. As he's walking up, Gur makes a mysticism check to identify the spell.
Yeah, seriously.
Uh-huh.
What?
It's Jolting Surge.
Oh, it's fine.
Ninden, no, stop, hold on.
It's fine. I can. I've literally taken more in a jolting surge than she's probably going to do to me right now. I'm not worried about this.
All right.
Okay, she rolls 4d6 damage.
Uh-huh.
It's
So
16.
16 electricity damage.
Like I said, fine.
I'm not healing that.
I don't know that you can.
I
can't
pat
gain out
Ninden
my
on the back and
stamina.
he feels better about it.
That was very brave of you, Ninden. Thank you for helping your friend.
Oh wow, speaking for
Uncanny.
speaking
No,
for
it's
all-
perfect.
I mean, like, that was exactly, like, what I imagined he would say.
way to take one for the team.
Okay, that was weird, right? That was weird to
Yes.
other people, right?
Yeah, that was weird.
Ninden has a concerned look on his face that has nothing to do with the fact that he just took 16 points of electricity damage.
Are you sure you're okay there, bud?
Yes. No, that was fine. I'm okay.
I guess
This
I
is
feel a little
worrying.
insulted.
I was gonna say, what's the correct answer here? Like,
well, no, exactly.
Your
It's like,
crazy
oh, you would-
electric
like-
touch. Your
Like the
crazy
meme of
electric touch didn't hurt it at all. Is that the correct?
It's the meme of the lioness with her cub on
Yeah.
the ground. Yeah, it's like, oh, you've wounded me so. No. I'm just concerned for you, is all.
I guess I'm okay. Maybe.
Well, it looks as though serendipity has gained some magical powers. Is that a thing AI can do?
Technically, no.
Yeah, no,
The
under
power
normal
was within
circumstances.
her all along. Mouse,
Gnomes are
being a gnome, is inherently magical.
Oh, now you talk. Thanks.
No problem.
She has a sense for dramatic timing. I get it.
Not Gur. Herald really appreciates that too, I bet.
Oh yeah.
Can you help me practice a little? I don't want to accidentally do that again. That'd be bad. How do you
Sure.
not do spells?
So those head off to work on manifesting.
Kaelin's just very confused because she would recognize Jolting Surge, but also recognize that you can't cast Jolting Surge without studying it for a very long time. This is not the way Jolting Surge is supposed to manifest. It's very strange.
Right. Yeah. It's
These are not
Mhm.
mystic abilities, which can manifest, spontaneously.
It's like
These are
and
the
not to-
technomancer abilities, which don't manifest spontaneously. So it's very,
Right.
very strange.
it-
So she's thrown for a loop.
well, I mean, there's no like clear definition of a technomancer and where their powers come from. Starfinder kind of goes out of their way to make it so that these powers can come from anywhere, really.
Wizard.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the
Well,
difference
sorcerer.
between.
Yeah.
That's the difference between a Pathfinder and Starfinder. Is in Pathfinder, it's very much the wizard studies to learn these spells. The sorcerer gets them naturally. In this one, the technomancer, they could study to learn this magic. It could be something that comes to them naturally. Who knows? Either way, asking a mystic for help with this kind of thing as a technomancer is it's almost like if you were an illustrator and you asked a painter for art, and the painter's going to do their best, but they're like, you're from a different world, man. Like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
these skills seem similar, but they're not necessarily
Yeah,
but
but
it's
Mouse personally has almost never picked up a brush, so
right.
in
Exactly.
some ways
So
it's
maybe
it's the best
there's some sort of wisdom that can be imparted potentially.
To pull the curtain aside for a second, Mouse has taken 1 level in Technomancer
Ooh.
and
Very
is now a Fey child rather than Bleachling gnome. Ta-da!
Spicy.
Pretty
New
radical.
member of the multi-class family.
Because we all know how multi-classing makes you a total powerhouse.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
she's too good now.
Yeah, it's a great
Yep.
idea.
Wow. Tell us how you really feel, Nick.
Well, I mean, it's a terrible idea if you want to be good at something, but like we obviously don't care about it.
No, I encourage interesting character development over character builds any day, personally. But
Yeah. No, and I appreciate that about you as a GM, Seth. I really do.
Well, thank you.
This is not sarcasm, because I've definitely had a lot of GMs where I've tried to do interesting character builds and then got stomped.
You're like, oh,
That's
you
why
didn't
I
make
am
an
the way I
optimal
am.
character. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. So while that is happening, word has gotten out. I mean, you're a known property here. This group. I mean, obviously, you showed up. You helped the Nasans get and Gur in particular. There are more people aware of you. You having been here. However, now that the word has gotten out that you're going to be leaving in order to help the Pact Worlds, you were actually at some point approached by a familiar-looking Anasan. After looking at her for a moment, sense memories collide. Physical brain imprints replaying themselves on Gur's mind's eye. You, Venator. Well, no. Venator is who this used to be. Was sitting on an ivory bench in the lower garden of the archive. Pleasant thoughts are exchanged with this woman. A lingering embrace. Amaldea looks up at you, sitting on the bench, and then in that instance, you see her now, in this moment, mournful. She says, "Gur," and you hear in her, you hear this, and now gently, her hands are clasped at her waist. Her thoughts linger on the object that she's holding between her clasp, and you know that she wants to give this item to you. She reaches forward and opens them, and you see her hands in a goblet shape, presenting a cloth. And inside this cloth, there's a small object. She says, "I wanted to give you this. I know you're leaving, and I wanted to ask that you keep Venator safe, so that I might see him again one day."
Gur doesn't really know what to say to this, but what is she offering him? What does it look like?
It's very small. It's circular, and there's a little dip in the center. You can tell just from the way the cloth lays on.
He considers like not accepting the gift, but then kind of thinks better of it and just kind of nods and holds out a hand and says, "I will do my very, very best to bring him back to you when this is all over."
Are any of your tattoos visible?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
Yeah. You can tell that bothers her a little bit, but she doesn't say anything.
Well,
not
if
directly.
if he notices this, then he says, these are not permanent," and he kind of steps back and flicks out one hand, and the tattoos disappear and turn instead into a set of shadow chains.
Oh, this is very. She's shocked. You could like the moment that you indicate that it's not permanent, you can feel that it's more of a relief than it's probably polite. But that's just kind of the way that the Anasans do.
Yeah.
So then she sees that and she's startled by it. But you can see her just kind of reacquaint to it, like the temperature of the water, comfortable again. And she goes, "I see. Maybe you're doing your own work to make sure he stays."
Exactly.
But as you take the item from her, it's a ring, and just kind of by using your mystical energies to kind of identify what it is, it comes to you that this is a ring of resistance.
Ooh.
A ring of resistance Mark III.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
One of those items that's handy, but it's probably not worth the cost associated for most.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Gur certainly accepts it and thanks her for it and tries to like use his telepathy to kind of calm her and reassure her that things will be okay without really like stumbling over his words as Gur would.
Right. Yeah, it's something that you can kind of do just innately. She does her.
Yes.
She does. She does her best to play along, but it's this is the sort of situation where it's almost impossible entirely you are literally inhibiting the body of her boyfriend / mate, whatever they were.
Right.
and just looking at her triggers these physical memories that are imprinted on the brain that you're existing in. So it's a very weird experience for everybody involved.
Yeah, Gur didn't ask to be like this.
No, and that is understood. So, but yes, that is all she had.
Yeah.
She'll go ahead and take her leave.
Gur kind of like awkwardly says goodbye.
She does the same. Just as awkward, guaranteed. But that's all that I have for you as players. Did you want to go ahead and move out this crazy mission that you've set yourselves up for?
Yeah.
Yeah, it may be a long shot, but we can. Do you get it?
Mouse, do you think you'll be ready to use your powers by the time we get to the Crucible? It would be inconvenient if you accidentally electrocuted Ninden.
I've already drawn up an intensive training schedule.
And you see
am
her
available for
using a
custom.
psychokinetic hand to like flip something up and down.
One of Herald's face tendrils, like the tip of it just goes. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Oh no!
Gross. No, I wouldn't touch
boy.
him.
No, I wouldn't touch Herald.
Oh god! Yeah, no, Ninden is very ready to get going. Get on the Sundiver and head to the Crucible.
Harald
All right.
is also ready.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and move forward to the scene after all the preparations have been made, after the equipment has been built, has been provided, all of all the pre-flight checks. The flight attendant tells everyone to put on their seatbelts, put their seat up in the full upright position. Unfortunately, drinks and snacks will not be served on this flight.
What?
That's a
know.
lie.
That is a
Drinks and
lie.
snacks.
That's true. It is a lie.
You can't stop me.
But as you spin up the engines and get ready to leave, you are flanked by Anasanoi resistance fighters that deliver a salute to you. A large crowd of Anasans are gathered outside the hangar to watch you leave, cheering for you, youths jumping and waving as you pass overhead. The Sundiver is guided via pre-programmed telemetry towards the shield, easily slipping past the barrier and into the harsh, roiling plasma of Mataris again. You hear the familiar thrum of the Sikatite injectors as they kick on and envelop the Sundiver, and you know it's going to be roughly almost 2 days until you reach the Crucible. 2 days until the Ifrit begin their attack on the archipelago. All you can do is hope that your intel is correct and that shutting down the Crucible will stop the fleet from invading the Prime Material. Even if all this intel ends up being true, even if the best case scenario plays out, you know that this is going to be... Anybody?
A long shot.
A long shot.
I said the title of the episode, guys.
Title drop.
I said it.
Yeah! Sunglasses go on.
I think it's the third time we've said a long shot here.
Won't get full again. Starts playing.
That was a hell of a cold open.
Right?
2 hour.
Yeah, you get
SNL's a shame.
in the long, in large, clean white text. It says a long shot on the screen. But we've been playing this game, and books have since we, not the least of which is the Character Operations Manual, which introduced a mechanic to the game, which is downtime, which means that now that with nothing presumably to do on this trip to the Crucible, you have time to partake of many different kinds of activities, and based on how you roll, if it is an activity that requires you gain certain benefits for a certain amount of time. Again, what activity you're partaking of. So does anybody have any ideas or what their character might be doing downtime?
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Ninden would probably be maintaining his equipment, which the activity is basically what it sounds like. You spend your day cleaning, fine-tuning, and otherwise maintaining a weapon or suit of armor. You must have access to a tech workshop. I hope we have access to a tech workshop or similar facility.
We
Uh-oh.
absolutely
We definitely do.
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, I figured as much.
You can use the engine room if we don't.
And if I maintain a weapon, which I am, so flavor-wise, Ninden is sitting there tinkering with his new ferromagnetic storm hammer, adjusting some settings on it, etc., making sure the fusion is working, because he has ranks in both mysticism and engineering since he hit level 10. So he's really going to work on his hammer. Not like that. And
Wow.
sorry, so this will let him deal more damage with his hammer if he gets a crit the following day, which doesn't sound that interesting, but neither do any of the other options that Ninden can do. So yeah, I don't need to make a check for that either. It doesn't. There's no check.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. Anybody else know what they're doing for their downtime?
I'm going to explore futures.
Okay.
Kaylin has already been using most of her downtime to meditate anyway, but worried about Mouse and this weirdness that's going on, she'll choose to focus on what Mouse's future might look like.
Okay.
I get to make a mysticism check for this. Let's move the book over here. Close the Sundiver. We do not have a tech workshop, by the by.
What do you mean?
We don't have a tech workshop. We have a synthesis bay for drugs and poisons.
You've got a tech workshop. You're fine.
Thanks God.
Here's all things.
It says or something similar.
I mean, I guess the edge of room works, right? I got a 31 on my mysticism. The DC is equal to 10 plus 1.5 times the target's character level or CR. So
Shooting
11,
for
16,
26.
26, yeah. So
You
that'll
get
be a
the-
success. Mouse gets a reroll on 1d20 on any 1d20 roll the following day.
Ooh.
Sorry,
Providing
what was that
Mouse-
again?
You get a
reroll any 1d20 roll.
Nice.
yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's really, really good.
That's a very good benefit to just have now.
Yeah.
Like it's just something that you have.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's how Kaylin spends her.
All right.
While-
Anybody else have any ideas?
Harald will lounge. He has no shame.
This sounds
Wow.
very on brand.
He
Does
will-
it?
You know, he could also entertain.
But there's no one else is lounging, so it doesn't matter. Who would he be entertaining?
Himself.
Wow.
But
Phrasing?
I don't think it matters.
No, or entertain specifically says that the people who lounge get more benefit.
Well, Mouse is not going to lounge. I'm sorry, that's just not in her nature.
I didn't figure it would be.
Yep.
Oh, you're right. Yep.
So Harald lounges by
Okay.
trying on different outfits in front of a mirror. Other people are welcome to join him. He's happy to critique anyone's outfit.
Oh, I love it.
I wish I had 80s montage music.
Oh man.
That'd be pretty cool. I don't think I have anything like that though, so.
I'm just imagining like he puts on different hats, tries different poses. At one point he's coy, at another one he's like,
Oh, you
Fierce.
shouldn't have. You
It's
shouldn't
like-
have.
He's like growling. He's like, "Grr," like showing some teeth he's manifested. Like, "Grr."
Oh,
yeah, he
these,
like puffs his chest up.
Yeah.
these teeth are too big, and then he makes them smaller. Now they're too small.
Ugh. What a monster.
Don't
How
worry,
about Gur?
he can't actually manifest bone, so it's all like cartilaginous like material.
That's not better. That's
Oh.
not better.
That doesn't make it better. That's true.
Yeah.
I would argue it's worse.
Flexible teeth.
Yeah. Ugh.
Ugh.
What are Mouse and Gur doing?
Mouse
Go
is
ahead, Mouse.
practicing her spells. Yeah, it's
that a
weird. And especially because more and more as she practices, she finds that serendipity is kind of like fading into the background of her consciousness.
Mm.
It's not necessarily hostile, or even sassy. More like she's getting integrated into Mouse.
It's okay though. I'm learning to do it on my own.
Now, is that like a downtime activity from the character operations manual?
I'm
Spell
trying to
practicing?
find a downtime activity from the manual that would fit this, but I'm not
Gotcha.
sure.
Yeah, I don't know what there is that would fit that.
Right. How about you, Gur?
Gur is also going to maintain equipment.
Okay.
I haven't really decided which piece of equipment. Yeah, I mean, I imagine we'd have the time, and he would like work on all of his gear. But for downtime's rules' sake, we'll just say he's maintaining his suit of armor just in case he gets crit, because he always does get crit, guys. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Always.
That's true.
You and me, buddy.
I got a hot 20 with your name on it.
Yeah.
Oh, go. Oh,
Phrasing.
God.
And so the way that works is whenever he is crit, it prevents half the item level's worth of damage.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
First time.
Yeah.
Only the first time.
Yeah, right. Because the armor gets damaged in the process or whatever.
Yeah. I would think so on a crit.
Yes, and I understand that Wild Mouse is doing this this practice. Ninden, you would like to visit her? Is that correct?
Yeah, Ninden, one point throughout the day, Mouse hears a knock on her door. It's a very heavy knock.
She opens it with psychokinetic hand.
Oh,
That's 5
hi.
pounds of pressure or less, yeah? Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
He looks down at where he expects Mouse to be, doesn't see her there, and looks across the room. Oh, neat. Oh.
Yeah.
Can I come in?
Duh. Otherwise, I wouldn't have opened the door.
Well, that's true. Yeah, good point. So Ninden shuts the door and stands, sort of, a little uncomfortably, hands behind his back, just sort of watching, looking at Mouse, and before he says, "How's your training going?"
Could be better, could be worse. I think I'm getting the hang of it. Serendipity hasn't been very helpful, but I think I'm okay with that. Like, I'm doing it on my own,
Yeah,
and that's
You,
not scary.
it can be. You just got these powers, and you don't really. You're exploring them. I remember what that's like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not really good at talking. So that's what I came here to talk to you about. Is I'm just, I don't know, word to the wise or something like that. Whatever one of those phrases is. Be careful. I don't, and please don't take this the wrong way, but when you shocked me, it didn't hurt. I don't think you could, kill us with your powers necessarily, but from somebody who has used mysterious powers that they didn't quite fully understand just yet, and it ended up killing their friend. Just be
Oh
careful.
yeah, that is what happened with you, isn't it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I will protect you from anything that I can, because you're my friend. I just don't want to see you get hurt from something like this, and I'm sorry if I'm sounding like a downer, because I'm sure this is exciting.
It's sweet. It's nice. Do you wanna? I think customarily, usually people exchange hugs for this kind of thing.
Sure.
Okay, she gets up from where she's been sitting cross-legged on the bed, gives him a hug. It's still super awkward. Like,
Yeah.
that has not changed and probably never will.
Yeah, I like to imagine that Ninden is probably familiar with the ritual, right? And like it's not something that is alien to him, but it's alien to. So like Ninden is engaging hug protocols, which Mouse does not follow. And it makes it to a situation where he needs to relearn like new hug protocols. They both have to create this new process for it in that moment.
Yes. It becomes the Mouse and Ninden hug.
All right, docking.
Okay, like put
Phrasing.
your arm a little bit lower down. Yeah, okay. How long do we hold this?
Oh, about as long as feels natural, I suppose.
Okay, it all feels unnatural.
Nothing. Yeah.
Immediately,
Oh,
let's go.
And then at that point, Ninden would absolutely just hands out wide. Okay, well, yeah. So,
Fist bump?
fist bump. I like
Fist bump.
bumps.
Fist bump feels good. Okay, we do that.
Yes. Good.
You notice that she's a little bit more flourishy with her fist bump. Like, it's not just like a
flamboyant.
bump. She like down and up and then the bump. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or the where your fist explodes as you pull it back.
Okay,
Yeah.
she's not ready for that yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah,
That's like a level. That's like a level
She
2.
saw this, the down, up, and then fist bump on like a holovid one time, and she wanted to try it out.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I know that you'll be safe, Mouse. Just do that, I guess.
Thank you.
Of course. Good luck.
Okay.
And Ninden leaves.
Aw, thanks.
Airlock. Oh, thanks for leaving. I tried out the airlock close sound effect.
That was a loud one.
It was good.
That was a loud one.
Loud door.
Also, I thought it was somebody going.
Yeah, no, I thought somebody
Yeah.
was sucking their teeth.
All right. So as everybody is going about their activities and such, there is a point actually where the Sundiver starts to receive a communication.
Whoa.
Open hail.
So you notice something interesting. There's a certain frequency that typically is used when a starship hails another starship. This is more of a communication from a personal comm unit. Someone might think that somebody on the ship is trying to play a joke.
Wasn't me.
Like when you were a kid and like first got a cell phone and you'd
You
call
call
the
them
house
that.
line.
Yeah, from inside. Something like that.
All right.
But yeah.
Harald can enter this and say, "Okay, who is this?"
In his best dad voice.
You at first you get a loud bit of static. It's very clear that whatever device is broadcasting this is a very large amount of interference that it was never designed to handle. But a voice does eventually. Give me just a sec. You hear somebody going, "Hello? Can you hear me?"
Yes. Who is this?
My name is Rickard. I'm currently traveling through the sun, thanks to a new friend of mine. I was on an Afridi vessel. They were taking me somewhere, but I ended up getting ejected, and I thought I was dead, but I was saved here, and I was hoping maybe you could help us out.
Yes. Please hold. Cutting the comms, I say, Mouse, could you scan that vessel? Is this a trap? I don't think anyone except for us in the Malika group can go through the sun.
All right. You want me to do a computers check, engineering,
Just scan that
science?
vessel.
Do whatever you'd like.
Computers it is.
Let's see how
Ninden
good this
warms
check
up
is.
the guns. Pretty good.
So that was a 32 for Mouse's computers check.
Yeah, you definitely don't. You try to triangulate the signal based on where it's coming from, and it does have a source, but you don't really detect anything there. Like, you sense like a different form of energy, than what is typically surrounding you, but it's similar enough to the sun that it's barely noticeable.
What?
What do you got?
I say what he just said.
Okay.
I see. How likely do you think it is that this is an ambush? I'd expect
Hello,
them to
are you
have
still
big
there?
ships.
Hello?
Hi. Who the pronk are you?
Rickard. My name's Rickard.
Yes, Rickard. This is the Sun Divers, Captain Herald speaking. Any enemy of the Malika group is a friend of ours. We'll come pick you guys up.
Oh, thank you.
I guess we can do a sense motive check, yeah.
That seems like the thing to do. Gur got a natural 2. Toot toot.
It's a 37.
Goodness.
I
With
don't
a-
even
with
have
a-
ranks in sense motive.
Neither do I. High five.
Kaylin, Herald, neither of you are able to sense any kind of duplicity here. Like, to you, like, this seems like it's as much of a shock to this person as it is to you that he's located out here. When you offer to help, a deeper, more bassy voice comes on and says, "Thank you very much."
I'm sorry, who is this?
My name is Uzma.
Are you all former prisoners of the Malika?
No, I have saved Rickard here.
Are you a former employee of the Malika?
No, I am of the Onkushu.
Culture check. Culture check on the
Does that name
Ankushu.
sound familiar?
Not a culture. This would be a mysticism check for anybody.
Whoa.
I turn to the rest of my crew with a
Ooh.
single eyebrow raised above my head.
Gur will use his library chip on that.
Endon's got a 30.
Oof. Oof. Oh no. Nobody knows what Nankushu is.
Darn.
Pretty rare thing. But it seems like people are drawing a blank, and he goes on to explain. I am a being from the plane of fire, and we like to keep an eye on the proclivities of mortals. We like to try to help out when we can, and I found myself in a unique position to assist Rickard.
I see. Well, why don't we talk more once we get there? And I guess I'll direct the Sundiver to go full power to engines to pick up this ship before the Malika find them.
I don't think it would be smart for me to board your vessel, but I will happily deposit Rickard in your airlock.
How big are you?
Larger than you.
That's the
Oh.
right question.
You wouldn't happen to be one of those space whale thingies, would you?
I am not a whale, no.
Was it a space shark that we saw at
We
the
saw,
beginning
like,
of
a
the episode?
space
it was a whale.
poodle or something.
Well,
Okay.
you also encountered something that was like an alien.
Yeah. But I suppose we'll find out if we go to this ambush. I mean,
I am bigger than you.
That's everything, bud.
Right. So, yes, let me, I realized that I forgot to do a thing. We gotta do a thing real quick. Doing a thing.
Seth,
Yes,
do
what's
the
up?
thing.
I am doing a thing. You don't have to tell me twice. I'm doing it. So you are directing the ship over towards this Uzmat.
Yep.
Okay. So it's very interesting. The being that appears outside the airlock, strange, like flame constructed being, something like a serpent with a human face and an angel.
Oh.
that appears with a human mystic, very plain-looking individual, who's just kind of floating.
Just kind of a dude.
He looks just as confused as everybody, and he is, as long as you're willing to go along with it, deposited into your airlock, which Uzmat, he kind of attaches himself to the side. They attach themselves to the side of the ship and form a protect, so that once the airlock is closed, Rickard is safely deposited aboard the ship.
I'm gonna mysticism. What the heck is that thing?
Yeah, now that you can see it, I'll allow you to do another mysticism.
31.
I just want both of you to be aware, we're not really on a pleasure trip right now. We're sort of heading towards a military shipyard of a hostile enemy force.
Gerv, did you want to do another mysticism check? We have a 31, a 20.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Gosh, these rolls. All right.
Saving all the good ones.
Wait. Yeah, I guess so.
I'll have you know I used a 15 and a 16 on this check.
Right. So
I'm saving all my good rolls.
So, with all of you working together and with the actual physical sight of it, I'll let you recall the Unkushu. So, it's as Uzmat described. They are beings from the plane of. They're known to be lawful and good, and they kind of protectors. They can often be with angels in the prime material. So they're known to keep good.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yeah. So when you tell them that you're not going on a pleasure cruise, Uzmat indicates, I suspected it as much. I had been a startling number of Afreet vessels that had been collecting here. I'm not sure what their plan. I was in the process of following one, and right after they exited drift, they went, and another vessel exited the drift, headed the other direction. That is the vessel that and as I watched, another planar being boarded the vessel, caused it some distress. At that point, a pod ejected, and Rickard was aboard, and I saved him before the pod burned up.
Wow, you are lucky, bro.
Rickard gives a kind of a wide-eyed nod. He says, but I wish I knew if my wife was.
Rickard, what about your story? How did you get on a vessel of the Afridi?
He takes a moment to gather himself and he goes, my wife Hazel and I, we were investigating some coded messages that we had uncovered related to some disappearances in Corona back on the archipelago. We're private we found these messages being relayed by some Afridi trading consortium called the Malika. While we were investigating, however, one of our leads, we were jumped by some Sulian Ifrit mercs, I think, and they took us to some underground facility for a while before we got shipped out via.
Before you got shipped out, what?
Via some cargo.
Okay.
Okay. And do you know how long ago this was?
I don't really know. We were in captivity for a while, so I don't know how long they had us. The days, they kind of bleed together at this point. I just know that something boarded the ship, and my wife was on a different part of the ship, and the commissar put me in some weird prison cell that she ejected after I was trapped in it. And upon him talking about this, you remember back on the Breath of Embers.
Yeah,
There,
I was gonna say.
next to the commissar's quarters, there was a brig hidden in the wall that appeared to have escape pod functionality. So you suspect that the ship that he's describing might look a lot like the Breath of Ember, or at least be a.
Okay. This thing that boarded the ship, did it seem like an enemy of the Malika? Why did the commander eject you?
They seem to think so. I don't know. Maybe they thought it was there to save us. I don't know. I can't justify or explain their actions.
Alright, Herald turns to the rest of the crew. I think it might be worthwhile to see if we can find that ship. As I was just saying to Uzmat over here, any enemy of the Afridi would be useful for us to at least get in contact with.
Uzmat chimes in, asking, "Do you know what the Malika are doing?"
Well, they're
Oh boy.
attacking the burning archipelago.
Is
For
that true?
starters.
I see. Well, I think this is, now that you've taken the burden of Rickard off my hands, I no longer need to spend my time. I no longer need to spend the time finding a safe place for him to go. I can go find my friends and see if we can do anything to help.
Oh, there's more of you.
That could probably help.
And he bows his head outside of the airlock window and says, "Thank you again, my friends. I will see what I can do." And then he departs, disappearing into the flames of the sun.
Man, I hope he brings us back an angel. That'd be awesome, right?
That
Yeah,
would be
let's
pretty
keep in touch.
Our cell number is...
Spacebook me!
So yeah, now you're just kind of you're all just kind of hanging out in the engineering room with this disheveled-looking human, just kind of looking at all of you weirdos.
Hey, bro, you want a shower or something?
That would be really great.
Do we have
It's
any
so
clothes that
hot.
would fit
It's
him?
so hot on a freight ships. You have no idea.
Actually, we do. We do have an idea.
Oh.
Yeah, we've
Long time
been
ago.
on...
Yeah, we're the Sun Divers. We're kind of a big deal.
If you wanted to track that ship, it was called the Eye of Feronia.
Okay, let me jot that down here.
Tappity tap tap tap. Into her comm unit.
Any mystics might use a mystic check to see if they recognize that name.
Oh, it's getting worse. That's only an 18.
Oh
I got
my
a
goodness.
39.
Yeah, Kaylin's doing okay.
Yeah.
Holy cow. So, Gur and Kaylin, you both actually recognize the name. So, Feronia is a deity of the plane of fire, also known as the Fertile Flame. You know she is a demigoddess of fire and fertility. She has numerous children born of her unions with various divine... and all information that exists indicates that she has been in meditation since. This ship, which Rickard indicates is part of the the sovereignty of the Crimson, indicates that it's part of a space empire that is associated with Feronia. And Kaylin, with that check, with this new information, you start to suspect that Malika individual could be a daughter of Feronia, like an actual daughter of the for real Feronia. Like everything that you understand about and everything you understand about Feronia, and now, given the context of everything, it seems like maybe one of her daughters is vying for more power than she.
Interesting.
Do you share this with the class?
I mean, right now it's just a ship name that we suspect is connected with this powerful being, goddess.
Okay.
You mean you're not going to just like Hermione it up?
Has Kaylin ever been known to do such a thing?
No, I know.
No,
No.
not really.
So to be clear, because I think there were a few times that Seth cut out.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I'm very sorry.
It's okay. It's mostly you're mostly coming across. It's just
Okay.
for long diatribes of information.
Yeah.
We lose some. So you said the sovereignty of the Crimson what?
Oh, sovereignty of the Crimson Sun, I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
And to summarize what Kaylin just sort of started theorizing on, the Eye of Feronia is a ship. Was that the ship that boarded with what's his name?
It's the one that ejected our new guest here.
Okay.
The Feronia is the one that Rickard and his wife were captured and shipped. Feronia is the name of a demigoddess of the plane of fire, who is known for having many daughters. And the sovereignty of the Crimson Sun is in some way to Feronia or one of her kin. So it seems like an awful lot of coincidence happening here.
Yeah.
And they were, before they were taken, they were investigating the Malika group.
They were, yes, investigating a 3D company called the Malika Group, which seemed to be associated with some disappearances in the Corona district of the Burning Archipelago.
Yeah, that's like
which
book,
we can corroborate.
book 1 like stuff.
Yeah.
Book 2, Book 3.
Okay.
Right, yeah, where we were.
Yep. Okay. Good.
Cool.
So they were on the same trail that you were, but they got captured.
Well,
That was their first mistake.
But
No, their
yes.
first mistake was to be NPCs.
Yeah, don't be
Should've
an
been born a
NPC in
PC.
any adventure. It's not good for your health.
So it's a bad gig. But,
Yeah.
okay, so the Malika group is named after a mythological figure called Malika.
You
At least-
believe that it was. So there are people who treated it as real, but it's hard to tell if it is real or not. But
Right.
this is starting to seem like maybe it could be a for real thing.
Well, cultists do crazier stuff.
That's true. That's true.
Cultists can be crazy people. Okay.
It's very on brand, if nothing else.
Yeah, whether Malika is real or not is kind of secondary, because if they believe that this demigoddess is real, and they're doing things in her name, it really doesn't matter if she's real or not.
It's true.
Well, alright. Either way, is it possible for us to find this ship?
Yeah, indicates that he was able to sneak some information, and when you collate it with the information that you have, it seems like it was headed in the general direction of the Crucible. So seems like things are kind of lining up there.
Alright, let's go double time and see if we can intercept it before it gets there.
All right.
Maybe it's already been taken over by a friendly force.
Well, I don't know. I've been traveling through the sun for a while. I would be surprised if they didn't. Uzmat, helpful as he is not the fastest.
Wow, rude.
It does-
This free ambulance isn't fast enough.
Hey, man, you shack up with anybody long enough, you're gonna start to, you know, it's cabin fever
Yeah.
in the sun.
So it's
but
really hot cabin fever.
that's true. But speaking of, we've been trapped in this podcast for almost 2 hours now, so I think it's about time for a break.
Yeah, breaks.
So
And we'll see if we can't fix your robotness.
Yeah, I
He's
gotta
not even
figure that out.
roboting, Just he's cutting out.
Just cutting
Yeah.
out, yeah, which is very strange. I need to. Is it happening now?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's really
Ironically,
much...
right as you said, is it hap?
Yeah.
Ending.
Cool. Good. Great. Very happy about this. So, yeah, we'll work on that. And yeah, we'll be back in about 15 minutes. So, what does that put us at? 13 minutes after.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, let's go find the bathroom in real life, everybody. Don't. Hello. We're back. And something that has been brought to my attention, it's something that we thought might be a problem, and is definitely apparently becoming an issue, is my audio is cutting out. One of the reasons why we've been absent for so long, not only the PAX trip, I have actually moved, and I'm currently in a new house, and I am on wireless on the other side of the house. So I believe that this is probably 100% the cause of why I'm cutting out, and I apologize for the dip in quality. I do appreciate you bearing with us while I try to find a solution so that in the coming episodes this will not be a problem. So just laying that out there. Sorry that every once in a while I cut out. Sorry for the probably 15 times I cut out while I was saying that alone.
Yeah, closer to 5.
Closer to 5.
Yeah, closer to 5. Not that bad.
Not that we're keeping track.
Right.
And we will
somebody-
continue to try to ask for clarifications as needed.
Yeah. I would appreciate it. Just anytime something cuts out and there's some vital information that cannot be discerned just by the context in which the cutout is surrounded by, please let me know so that I can clarify, not only for the dear listeners, the fine folks, the NS agents, whatever we're going to end up calling them.
I guess we should put that to a vote eventually.
Though I would like to point out something. So we are firmly the fertile ground that is book 6 of called Assault on. Turns out the Crucible features pretty prominently in this one. And as I advertised that we were going live on Twitter, the author of this book actually liked that. There's a possibility that Jason talked listening. So
My God.
no pressure.
I'll have to bring out my silliest voices.
And he'll have to bear with me as I remove some events from the book in order to speed things along a little bit. So I apologize for that.
We love your creation. We've modified it heavily.
I gotta try and do stuff that's show oriented, you know. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, and we
That
also
said,
we also discussed like making it slightly less sandboxy as the sort of linear narrative works nicely in a show.
Oh no, I've got a bit of a sandbox surprise coming up.
Oh, spicy.
Yeah, I know.
Sandbox surprise sounds like what my cat likes to leave me.
Good joke.
You have a cat now? Anyway,
Don't
I
even have a
won't probe.
cat.
Do you guys want to? Do you guys want to keep playing?
We do, yes.
I suppose.
Uh,
I could talk about more sandbox surprises, but yeah.
Oh, and my bathroom trip was fine. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to ask. So just to clarify, in case anything was lost in the confusion with all the cutouts and whatever, let's see. Beat a dragon. Found out that a military force from the Plane of Fire is gathering to take over the sun. They are going to the base of this organization to try and sabotage it, the invasion before it starts. Mouse's friend Serendipity came back and gave her a level of Technomancer by merging with her. Gur was given a ring. The girlfriend / wife of the body that he. They rescued a man who was captured by the Afridi after ejected him in an escape pod by Angel from the Plane of Fire, and he's now just kind of a passenger hanging, and they are about to reach the Crucible. So that's where we are right now. Just a quick summary of all the.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then.
Yeah. So, anybody have any questions for Rickard or anything while the rest of this journey carries out?
So how are you in a fight?
Normally, I'm not really much of a fighter, and especially now, I don't think I'm really up to the task. They took all of my weapons, and
Well, let me tell you, we have plenty extra. And Ninden just upends, a null space chamber's worth of old gear that he's been carrying.
Why didn't you sell any of that?
Well, I have Gur's pistol. I wasn't going to sell that. Gur's star knife. I also wasn't going to sell that. What else? Well, I have a shield that you could hold on to. I'm not really using that right now. But, these are all necessary items, Harald.
Armor? Can we put some armor on him? Make him a little less squishy?
That I do not have.
So you were investigating the Malika group, right? I don't suppose you can tell us a little bit about what they're trying to do aside from take over the burning archipelago and, the rest of the sun?
They're trying to do what?
Oh, take over the whole sun.
Who would try to take over the sun?
The Malika group.
He shakes his head and he goes, "Look, I was just looking into some disappearances. We were looking into some disappearances in Corona, and we some Ifrit-run business called the Malika Group was involved. So we were looking into it, and we just got jumped by some mercs. I think they were called the Brass Dragons."
Yes, the Brass Dragons were hired by the Malika Group, or are sort of a facade of the Malika Group.
We beat them. They're dead.
Well, they have been made illegal by the Burning Archipelago government. But that was all a while ago. Alright, you've answered my question.
How much has happened since we got captured?
Oh, so much happened. At least, 5 books.
Well, 3 books.
And
3
then
books.
we tell him everything we're comfortable with sharing with a complete stranger that we just picked up from a sun angel in the sun.
Right, yeah. That's not a typical scenario. Now he's got the Sun Diver on his recently called list on his. So you'll never believe where I placed this call.
Well, don't worry about it. We should be able to rescue your wife from that ship, and then you can just stay on our ship. and everything will
Yeah.
be okay.
Yeah, you any good with like ship stuff? No.
You can tell he's not entirely confident. You're gonna just be able to, like, that doesn't seem like a thing that he thinks is something that you can promise. When he's asked if he's any good with ship stuff, he shakes his head. Not really. I mean, honestly, I'd mostly be comfortable just staying here, and I guess wherever you're going, I can just watch the ship and let you know if anybody tries to come aboard.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that you're volunteering for dish duty and also any custodial tasks.
Look, I was just being carried by a fire angel through the center of the sun. I'll do whatever you ask me.
Score!
I don't really have a lot of options here.
Also, make sure that you recover your strength as well.
Mouse kind of throws away the chores wheel.
No, look, we're all gonna do an equal share of chores. We're not gonna make him do double just because he can't fire a gun.
I don't see why not.
It almost sounded like you were about to say torment, which now, like, I'm thinking about a portmanteau.
Chorment.
The tormentor.
Now that just sounds like he mentors people.
You have to clean the dishes and put them away.
No! You're such a cruel master. But yeah, no.
I hate you, Dad.
I hate space doors because you can't slam them. They smoothly slide shut.
I wish you'd never kidnapped me.
But yeah, you'll find that Rickard is pretty agreeable. He's not. He's clearly not all there. He's had a lot happen to him recently. He thinks his wife is probably dead. He's just trying to process surviving what he just went through, and whether he's okay with that or not.
Oh no, feelings! Kaylin, tap out!
But yeah, aside from that, I don't really have a whole lot. If we would like to...
Yeah, we'll just go to that ship and rescue his wife, because she's totally alive.
Alright.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally alive, not a monster or ghost at all. Seth turns pages rapidly, crosses out the word ghost.
Yeah, Hazel's dead. She's a ghost. She's being played by Hayden as a fourth.
That was Hayden
Ghost.
Christensen, by the way, audience.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I figured they wouldn't be able to guess the last name from context.
It cut out. No, gotcha. All right. So eventually, you pull up a reading on your sensor equipment, indicating that there's a strange in the energy signal ahead. Let me. Oh, dang it!
All right, activate cloaking.
Cloaking. Is that something you had added in against my knowledge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have to tell you everything.
No, you're just the GM.
Yeah. The thing is that there's a really cool piece of imagery that, in my scramble to absolutely sprawling amount of content for this adventure, that I forgot. So I'm doing fast as possible right now. But
That's okay.
Go ahead and give me a DC. Sorry, I'm not going to. Please, somebody, give me a physical science check. I know that multiple people.
Ooh.
Mouse trained me in this. This is my moment. It's only a 23.
You made me look bad.
Well, you made you look good. So
Okay, I got a 39. I rolled in that 20. Sorry.
Well, it actually makes a lot of sense that Mouse would get this. When you're looking over the readings that you're getting, you are reminded of something very. It is the physical and the energies that are associated with the far portal.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah,
As
I've
we-
still got it like bookmarked here.
As we approach what? I'm sorry.
She's the readout that she's getting from the computer matches very closely the far portal, the portal that was on the surface of the sun that fell on episode 2, I think,
Yeah.
into the sun itself.
And coincided with the psychic scream.
Hmm.
I was very concerned that we were on Far Portal, I remember, before I realized that that was not the case.
Yeah. So as you get close enough, the imaging systems are able to bring it up onto. I delayed just enough.
Whoa.
So, nestled between dimensions is in the center of the far portal itself. A strange force seems to have it to the fortress. And sitting on the other side of far is a gigantic formation of ships. A massive fleet that looks poised to come right from, you assume, the plane of fire directly into the prime. Aside from these ships, located in what you assume to be, again, the plane of fire, the Crucible itself does not look defended. The information that was pulled from the Afridi soldiers back on Kalanal proves you able to locate the landing pad. Currently, only one ship is docked there, and it looks to be a shuttlecraft.
So
Mouse, is that Far Portal?
I guess so. Yes? No? God?
Yeah, I mean, it looks exactly like Far Portal. It's giving the same readings as Far Portal. As the position of Far Portal has moved, its relation to where it links up to in the plane of fire has also changed. You know that by it moving, it has moved where it goes to in the plane of fire as well.
Oh, that is so cool.
Okay, so they moved it here back in book 2 to line
in
up
book
with
1.
where their fleet was in the plane of fire,
Yes.
and presumably also so that they would have the cover of the sun instead of just being visible from outside the sun.
Yeah. Didn't want to draw attention to themselves like a fire whale bursting out of Far Portal Station or something.
Yeah, just like that. And the fleet that you mentioned, it's on the other side of the portal, so in the plane of fire.
Yes, they are currently still in the plane of fire.
Do we have
Well-
any information as to why they're on that side and haven't come into this side yet?
So the only information you have is that the Vanguard fleet from the Malika gave the Pact Worlds time to decide if they were going to just surrender the archipelago to them or not.
Oh, well.
You think,
it's-
tactically speaking, they might be hiding their fleet until they make the decision to attack.
Well, then
I see.
we need to destroy this portal.
Well, if there's these visual cues mean anything, is that space station somehow powering the portal? Previously, the portal didn't need any power.
I thought it was described as anchoring the portal here.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of based on their interaction with the portal itself, it seems like these spires that are coming out from the top and the bottom of this fortress are keeping the portal tethered in place.
Oh, I see. So this station pulled it from where it was before to here?
Somehow.
Interesting.
Then
And
we
it's
shut
keeping it
down
here.
the station?
shut down the Crucible, move the portal, put the fleets out of position.
All of the above. I really think that it might be safest to just destroy the portal so they can't come through. We don't gain much from being able to go over to the plane of fire.
Yeah, there's lots of magic that can do that.
Seems preferable, but harder? Easier to shut something down than destroy it.
Maybe we'll find something on the Crucible itself.
There are ships that have made the journey from the plane of fire over to the prime material, but a kind of magic and the kind of setup that's required to allow that to happen is very difficult for very large ships. You are currently looking at capital ships, vessels very much like the ones that were on the outside of Kalinal, which the Ifrit have never brought to the archipelago. They just have small trading vessels and that sort of thing.
Right. So this is unprecedented, and this portal is the only way that they are getting through.
Probably.
In any manner of short amount of time.
Probably, because the amount of energy and the kind of magic it would take to take a whole capital ship from one plane to another is pretty unprecedented, like the Far Portal itself.
I'm still a little unclear on how this space station came to be. Is it something they found, like Numa, or is it something they
don't know
slowly? Okay.
This is information that you don't have.
Well, I'm excited to acquire it.
I
All
want
right.
to acquire it and download it.
Are we going to bring the ship in?
Yeah.
Under stealth, in the cover of night.
It's the sun. It's always day.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was the
Maybe-
joke.
Can't wait till nighttime, unfortunately. So Kaelin is able to find a place to touch down with relative ease on the landing pad. You only notice one other ship here. Appears to be a shuttle of some sort. Not even a single technician lies in wait here. It gives the impression that this base is not operating as it normally would. Something that you've taken note of since approaching is that this fortress, the Crucible, does not match the aesthetic of the Ifrit at all. Their weapons, their armor, their vessels, all of these that you've been encountering tend to feature a lot of brass, black steel, maybe golden copper. The design of this fortress is far more pragmatic. The base almost looks like something you would expect to find in the archipelago, or something you would expect to find on Noma, somewhere between there.
I was going to ask, does it remind us of Noma?
A little bit, yeah.
And does Noma in turn remind us of the archipelago in terms of architecture? Now that I think of it.
Kind of, but Noma was a bit of a weird case because
Robots.
the occupants of Noma were constantly rebuilding it, and it's hard to tell.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, just from the artwork here, this reminds me very much of a cross between Absalom Station and the archipelago.
Yeah, sure. It's a lot like that for sure.
Yeah. So that makes me think that this might be made from the same people.
All right, let's go in and hope they don't have any huge gun emplacements.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, you've already touched down, and nobody is coming out to stop you or greet you or anything.
Well, that's not okay. Let's suit up, everyone.
Okay.
Alright.
Weapons hot.
Okay.
Buckled in.
Let's see. Hold on. I think I might have a sound. Let me.
A lock and load sound.
Lock and load montage.
Let me see. Hold on.
Eye of the Tiger? Do you have Eye of the Tiger?
Oh, here we go. There we go.
Nice. It would have been way better
was-
if not for the 3-minute build-up.
Hey, we do what we can.
We did.
So yeah, Rickard once again insists that he can just kind of keep an eye on the ship, and he'll let you know via comms if anybody shows up. But he'll keep the door closed, and he'll keep an eye on the external cameras.
Have fun storming the castle.
Here's our comm channel or something equally sci-fi.
Right.
Let us know if there's any problems.
All right.
And
Here.
post memes only in meme here.
Yeah, the memes channel.
Yeah, Harold gets really grumpy if you don't.
Yeah, I will bring out the banhammer.
He forms a banhammer with his arm.
Yeah. So I have moved you onto a new map. It looks like people's stamina and stuff isn't fully recharged yet. So please feel free to do that.
Isn't
You
my
have been.
sheet.
No, yours are. I am seeing Gur and Mouse at below maximum levels. Is that just me?
That better?
No, Gerlich's practically dead. You're right.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Gur,
he's
Gur, are
not.
you with us?
Hmm.
Uh-oh.
I was thinking that I hadn't heard from Leaf for a while.
Huh.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
He's in
Leave?
Discord.
Let's do a mic check. So we have Liz, we have Tom, do we have Nick?
I'm here.
Hello. Simon.
Hi.
We're missing
I
a
can't
Leaf.
not
Uh-oh.
Leaf, are you dead?
Leave.
Leaf, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up? Sorry, I'm experiencing speaking troubles. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Excellent.
Strange.
That is weird.
Did you catch the bit
did you
about
hear
your
that
stamina?
your character is almost dead and that you need to put more points in the point zone?
Fix that.
There are 2 point zones. Both of them must be attended to.
Yes.
All right, dealing with point zone.
Replenish your point zone, Gur. But
Excellent.
aside from that,
Point.
can everybody see the map?
Indeed.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, this hallway that you've entered is very pragmatic in nature. Again, does not appear to be a Freudian design. It is solid steel slats of metal and very rigid 4x4 style patterns. You know that they have a tendency towards the elegant, almost arabesque lines and such, which are not seen here, which makes you think that maybe this is something that was taken rather than built by the Ifrit.
Okay. Well, let's go down the hallway. And Harald will step in front of Ninden.
And Ninden will quickly step in front of him.
Darn
This is
it,
a
I
fun
should have
leapfrog
invested in
game.
move speed.
No. No,
Here
you
comes
shouldn't
the-
have.
Here comes the mom arm.
Ninden has, in case it wasn't obvious, he has his hammer, and that's it. That's all he can hold. He has his hammer out because this is a two-handed weapon.
Really
Nothing
big
like
hammer.
mounted to your shoulder?
Oh no, I do have my cannon, but that's just always there, so I never mention it anymore. The cannon is there. Hammer. Cool brawler frame painted in the Sundiver's colors.
It looks like Kalen is casting Battle Mind Link.
Ah,
Yes, please.
thank you, Kaylin.
Ninden and Herald, I'm taking it.
Yes. Same old.
Gur's gonna
Typical.
cast his battle spells too.
Okay.
Not as impressive, but keen senses
Never.
are nice.
Everybody's buffing.
The quinoa.
Buffs up.
The quinoa senses, yes.
Quinoa senses. You can sense anywhere that serves quinoa within a 100-foot radius.
California is deafening.
If you cast quinoa sense in California, you're gonna go blind. Like it's just like, no, there's so much quinoa.
Nothing happened. I activated it. Nothing happened. No. It's all gray.
Yeah, everything.
Ninden steps up to this door and gives Harold an eyebrow raise.
Harald gives Ninden 3 thumbs up.
Strange.
I mean, you can do it.
One of the thumbs is cartilaginous.
Oh.
Is that just like a word that you looked up and you're just happy to use it now?
I mean, it's
Word
just
of the
very
day
appropriate
calendar.
Yeah,
for her
Harald puts
right?
away his word of the day calendar.
Because I can't grow multiple arms that I can use, but I can grow lots of arms. They just can't hold anything. But they can give thumbs
All right.
up.
All right.
That's a thing.
My God, I never thought that you guys would go into this door. I'm joking. I thought you would go into this door. So yes,
Can read us
the
like
door.
a book.
The door opens without protest. You're able to easily figure out its operation.
Ah, good. They still make doors the same. Ninden goes to this door and opens it.
Oh, you open that door, do you?
Yes, with my hand.
Okay.
Or hand
Oh no.
pens.
Oh no,
I
there's
shut the
something
door.
behind that door.
Maybe
Oh
it's
dear.
Maybe it's friendly.
Probably not. It's got a red border.
Yeah, well, you've picked up on my Anthony Fantano style hint. It's like, oh, he's wearing the yellow flannel for this one. God, I think maybe
Anthony
Crow
who?
will get that. Anthony will. Sorry, Crow will get that, and nobody else. Crowbody else. So as you enter this room, this cross-shaped room has desks built of a dark composite, and chairs and niches to the north and south. Each desk has a computer terminal. Looking at mouse. Double doors lead out to the east and the west. A smaller door is set in the southern section, the one that you have arrived through. In the center of the room, there is a strange spherical object. Once again, see, I was good. I was halfway good. What I did was I made the tokens for everything, but I didn't create a handout for everything.
That's okay.
Which is especially frustrating for you guys because you get to miss out on art unless I take this opportunity where I'm explaining my failings to do just that and then show it to everybody. Haha! I did it.
Oh, it's really cool.
Wow, is it a robot or a monster?
Hard to say.
Robot monster.
Podcast listeners, think of the Dwemer ball guards from Skyrim.
Yeah, I was about to explain.
Right.
It's a strange spherical object.
Very sorry.
No, it's fine. It's large, as in it takes up a 10 by 10 foot space, and the top of it, there's a panel in the sphere that raises up with like a smoke, a thick smoke that starts billowing out from inside. The hatch levitates up, and this wispy smoke forms not only something that appears to be a mouth, but a series of strange glowing eyes that are hovered in place by this smoke. This weird shape object rolls in place to face all of you. And just from the judgment of its movements alone, you can tell that it is hostile, which means that it is time for us to roll initiative.
Hell yeah.
Let me go ahead and bring up that turn tracker.
Oof. You got an 11 on the die. I got a 9.
How often do you get to reroll? Oh, it costs resolve.
I can it's just a resolve point, yeah. So I think I'm gonna hold off.
Yeah.
Just because it's the beginning of the dungeon.
Why is that when I roll a 20? That's the least exciting 20 to roll. Oh, I got that 20 on my initiative. Oh.
I also forgot my +2 from Battle Mind Link. I forgot to click that on, so.
It makes you feel better. I rolled a 2.
Natural toot!
Also rolled a toot.
Toot toot!
I rolled a 10.
Nice basic roll there.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Descending. There we go. Hey, it goes first. What do you what do you know?
Well, guys, I'm sorry for what's about to happen. As it just log jams us into this hallway.
Actually, I'm a little bit interested in how this is going to work. Because there's a certain thing that this thing does, and I don't know if it works on Ninden in Ninden's current state.
Do tell.
Let's find out together.
Yeah, let's do the numbers first. First off, it has trample. So
Huh.
does that mean that it is enabled? Can it roll through a large creature? Is that a thing it can do?
I don't see why not. Unless trample
As a
specifically
full action,
says.
it can move up to its speed through the space of any creatures that are at least one size smaller than itself.
Ah, the size.
Oh, then it can't.
Right. That was
So
what I
Ninden
was
actually stops
suspecting.
this.
Oh, thank goodness.
Probably a good thing that Earl did not go first.
Maybe next time.
Let's see.
It might make for bad
Where's
combat,
one
but
size?
it would make for a great show.
Okay. Yes, neither of the things that this thing is supposed to do can be done to a large size thing, which is
Ah!
great.
Spoilers.
All right. Anyway, it does.
I'll get out of here. Wait a
indeed-
second.
I'm glad
Those-
someone else feels my
Oh.
pain about player characters
Well.
being large.
Oh, I don't enjoy it. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But it
Give
it
me
rolls
those
up.
tears.
It rolls up and it does try to do a bite on Ninden. Let's see how successful it is.
A bite.
It does a bite. I think that's gonna do it. That is a 38 versus KAC.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Okay.
Maybe he rolled a 20.
No, I didn't roll 20.
He would have been a little more excited if he rolled a 20.
Let a man dream.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, that is going to be 30 bludgeoning damage as it bites down. For a moment, it like catches one of your arms, and you see it trying to eat your arm. It looks like
Uh-huh.
it has a mouth that appears to be designed specifically for swallowing.
Isn't that
Go
what
figure.
most mouths are for?
See.
Yeah, you would think, but like this is like really good at it. But not when something's really.
Yeah.
It's something like-
Ninden
it's like
shrugs
when-
off some of that.
When a ball python tries to eat you, like from your finger, it's like you idiot. That's not gonna work. Herald, it's your turn.
Alright, Herald says, get that one enemy that is in front of us that we can see. Using get him and using his new two-handed weapon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Are you gonna use your other thing where you try to do like?
I
the
used get
tricky
him and
attack?
yeah, clever attack with my
Clever
Aurora
attack.
arc rifle. Is
Alright,
it
and that's-
CR11?
If it's CR11,
Probably not, it's like a solo.
you barely make it.
Nice.
Barely make it. All right, so it is now flat-footed, and that is a 30 versus EA.
Now, it's important to remember that it does not get cover from me being in the way because I'm threatening it with my advanced coordination feat boost that I just picked up at level 3 soldier.
But
Nice.
bonus, is that correct?
It does not get a cover bonus, however, I'm not giving my allies the +1 bonus from coordinated shot either.
That's what I mean. Is that there's no coordinated shot bonus. It's just
Correct.
flat at this point.
But
Yeah,
that's
so
effectively a
it's like-
+4, so worth.
It's like I'm not even there.
Yeah, you definitely get it. Let's see here. Let me do. Yes, 19 damage. This creature.
Yeah, that's an all-time record for Herald, I think.
Yeah.
For non-crits.
No, Herald has done more
That-
than that.
That full character level damage really helps.
It does look like it is. The damage is slightly resisted, however.
But
But
he's a robot.
I know. Well, is it?
He's a robot ghost.
A ghost bot.
A gassy robot.
So suddenly the Chamberlain shows up. Robot. Yeah. Ninden.
I get that
All right.
reference.
Well, Nindin's gonna flick a switch, seeing Herald's. I don't know. Okay, so is that metagaming? You know, like you told Herald that some of the electricity damage didn't go through. Is it okay for me to know that as a player, or does Nindin have no clue?
No clue about
About
what
the
again? I'm
electricity
sorry.
resistance.
About the electricity resistance.
Oh, you can
Just
see
make
that
a mysticism check to identify it.
Oh yeah.
let me see what kind of check. I think mysticism is the correct. I don't know. It is a and technological construct.
Did you say magical and technological?
Construct, yeah.
Sounds like
Okay.
engineering or mysticism.
Yeah, it looks like either one of those would work.
I'm gonna go with
So it does
engineering
have-
because I'm slightly better. But that's a nat 1! Glad I
Ooh,
got
cool.
that out of the way before I attacked.
Regardless,
Um,
You have no idea what the heck this thing
Herald
is.
can signal
Yeah.
that it seemed to be resistant to his arc rifling.
Okay.
Mhm.
Then, hearing that from his captain, Nindin will flick a switch on the bottom of his hammer towards the handle, and the head of the hammer stops sparking and instead sort of starts leaking this cool mist. And it is now, the frost fusion has replaced the electricity damage of the electricity bludgeon.
Cool ranch hammer. Got it.
Oh god, no, I hate that flavor. Oh, it's the worst.
Funny enough,
So
it's cool mist.
one. We're gonna try one attack because I needed to use my swift action to
Is it-
swap that around.
Is it the Sierra Mist hammer? Like,
Bludgeoning and cold. I'm just ignoring you now.
Refreshing.
that's a good idea. Ignore the GM. I mean,
That's a
I don't really give
30.
you much of a choice.
it's a 34 to hit with Get 'em against flat-footed KAC. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's that anime blade right there, if I ever seen
Yeah,
one.
with the frosty called entangling ferromagnetic stormhammer.
All right.
Yeah, that one needs a name.
The Eldritch Knight.
Yeah, I'm not an
weird.
Eldritch Knight though. I'm a guard soldier.
I
Much more boring.
am.
Yes. So that's 35 points of bludgeoning and cold damage.
That's too much damage. Yeah, that's a hit. Absolutely.
It's a pretty good blow. I'm very excited about this. Now, friends, do you want me to move behind this thing, or do you want me to stay here?
If you think you can,
I'm
happily
pretty
be
good at
flanking
acrobatics.
buddies with you.
I don't know. I'm kind of
uh,
liking you preventing this trample.
Well, but
I guess
we
I don't know
know
about it,
the
though. You're right,
trample,
you're right.
Yeah. So Nindin,
Trample.
let's see. Nindin is gonna try and acrobatics around this guy, just so with the thinking like, oh well, this way Gur can get up front and start hitting it too.
So just to kind of give you an idea of the general layout of these places, this doorway is not much taller than Nindin is, so this will be a little bit trickier. But obviously, like, you have the ability to climb, you have a climb speed and all that. Unless stated otherwise, the ceilings in this place are 20 feet high. So
Okay.
if you get through the doorway, you would just be squeezing above this thing to get past it. There's almost no way to avoid an attack of opportunity by going to the other side of it.
And if to get through his space, I'm gonna need to succeed at the acrobatics check, right?
You would you'd either have to succeed in an acrobatics check, or you'd have to bull rush it out of the way. But I don't think you can bull
Ooh.
rush at this point because
Now,
you.
yeah, I do have
Yeah.
improved bull rush, but tell you what, I'll just try acrobatics so we can move on.
Okay.
So I'm gonna attempt to move through his space,
Okay.
rolling a nat 20.
Goodness. All right. You just like grab the top of the doorway and just try to swing over it.
Yep, it's pretty
All right.
cool. Now since it's large, do I need to
Mhm.
do this again?
Uh,
Large.
just do one more to try and stick the landing, I guess.
Okay. That's a
right,
31.
yeah, you're
Still not
good.
bad.
You're good. You're good.
All right, sweet. So
I'm just trying to think of how many threatened squares you just passed through by this motion.
Too many.
a lot. A lot.
I think it's going to be almost impossible to avoid getting an attack of opportunity to do this.
You know what? Just for having let me pull that shenanigans, I'm not going to argue against an attack of opportunity. I've got mobility. Let's see what happens. Maybe you'll crit me.
It actually rolled higher this time. It got 39 versus KAC.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe that was a nat 19.
No, it was not.
see.
Wow. Very consistent with the damage. It's another 30 bludgeoning as it continues to try to gnaw on you. Maybe get your tail this time a little bit as you jump over.
So I'm subtracting for resistance.
Okay.
And there we go.
right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mouse.
Oh boy, Mouse is gonna try to overload that thing because it looks technologically,
And she's got override now, so she can do droids and androids, drones, robots, and creatures with the technological subtype.
Yes. Go ahead and give me either an engineering or a mysticism check if you'd like to try and get some information about it.
Okay, engineering.
I somehow figured that you would...
She rolled a natural toot.
Oh, no.
It's a 24.
Oh, that's definitely not going to cut it. You have no idea.
Not
what this thing is.
identifying anything today.
So what is it that you're going to use?
Override.
Override, okay.
Yeah. So basically, it has to succeed a will saving throw, or be dazed for 1 round. And if it fails by 10 or more, it's not dazed, and I can dictate its actions for a round.
Oh my gosh.
DC is 10 plus half my mechanic level, so 5 plus my intelligence modifier, so 20.
I have to look up something real quick. Okay. You said a will save.
Mm-hmm.
Not its best save. What is the DC?
The DC is 20.
It fails.
Yeah.
It's a 19.
Aw. But still, it's dazed for a round.
Enjoy, sucker!
All right. So it's just dazed right now?
Yep.
Okay. I'll have to look up what dazed does. So many conditions. Let's get my love for this game is very conditional. Haha.
Haha.
It's a good joke.
Conditions, dazed. Why are there so many ways to... Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh, you guys. Did somebody find dazed?
Oh, sorry, I wasn't looking. I can help.
Looking it up.
That's fine. You do that. Gur is doing an engineering. Unfortunately, that is not going to...
so good.
What? Everybody's just rolling 2 on engineering, it looks like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's 2s all around to identify pretty much everything today.
I know,
So-
it's crazy.
Yeah, we're just doing bad.
Yeah, this thing is weird. You know that much. This thing is
yeah.
freaking weird.
I know I can try to flank it.
hmm
Oh,
And-
dazed is you can take no actions. Sorry to interrupt.
No actions?
That's what it
Yeah,
says in the
I
little.
thought so.
Yeah,
That's
it
great.
is strong.
You are unable to act normally. You can take no actions, but have no penalty to your AC.
Wow.
I remember-
That's crazy.
Yeah. I remember the first and only ever mechanic I played, I got to use this on a construct all of like once or twice, and it was a lot of fun because you basically just turn off the robot for a turn.
Right. Yeah, that's great.
That
Yeah.
sounds like overload.
Yeah.
So recognizing that it's kind of open to attack, you're
Indeed.
take a guarded step up, and as he flourishes, like the chains kind of come out as first just like a wisp of smoke, and
Mhm.
then kind of materialize, but they do only cold damage, so they're still just energy, so not materialize, but you get
Mhm.
you get my drift.
Right.
And thank Desna, I don't actually, hold on. Thank whoever because it's definitely not Desna for these chains, but they have reach, so we're attacking
It's
those.
the one from Society 108. What's the name? We also
Sorry.
met them in Signal of Screams.
I got it.
So is this KAC or EAC?
EAC.
Okay. With all the bonuses, especially, yeah, that's definitely going to be a hit.
Or
So-
24 cold damage.
Or cold.
Nice.
Also appears to be very slightly resisted, but most of it's going through. Like this, it's not a lot of resistance here. Like you're doing fine. But yeah, that will bring us to Galen.
All right, let's see. I can miss this thing, right? Let's see if we can find out everything about it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Breakfast, who its mother is, all that stuff.
Lurleen.
41.
Oh my lord.
Wow. Yeah. All
Like I
right.
said, I would like to know who its mother is and what it had for breakfast.
Embarrassing
All right.
childhood nicknames are also on the table.
All right, I'm gonna let you have 3 pieces of information, but the general information that you have about it is something called a Neotophet, or Neotopet. I don't know how to adequately pronounce Egyptian-style names.
Put in chat.
It's almost like Neopet.
It's a Neopet. Got it.
It's a Neopet.
Oh, it's on the top of the handout.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, let's see. So you know that it is a specialized robotic construct designed to imprison. The robot has a hybrid nanotech orifice that can grow large enough to swallow any creature smaller than the construct. And a spherical containment pod doubles as the robot's lower body and its means of locomotion. So the very thing it uses to move around is the same thing that imprisons people. That giant ball is what it crams people inside of.
Sounds like it would get really dizzy.
Yeah.
Funny you should say that. What would you like to know about it?
Resistances, first off. If it has anything other than...
It has construct immunities, and it is immune to fire. However, it has damage resistance 5 adamantine, so it is only overcome by an adamantine weapon. But it's only 5, which is like whatever, you know?
Okay.
So
Special abilities. How is it going to entrap us?
So you know that it has a tendency to trample, so it can run people over, given that they're smaller than it is, and it has the ability to use its large, disturbing mouth to swallow anything smaller than it. At which point it is transported inside the sphere.
All right, I telepathically tell Mouse to stay away from it, as well as these two, but mostly Mouse.
dear.
Also, if any fire or electricity damage is dealt to it, it will conduct half of that damage to whatever is trapped inside.
cool. This monster is so cool.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything we need to know.
Yeah. Don't get at...
Clarifying question for my sake. DR5 adamantine, is that for that applies to every single type of damage? I thought that was just for like
No,
normal
just
DR,
physical.
like bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing.
Yeah, just physical.
Yeah, DR is for kinetic damage. And
Oh, is it only kinetic? Because the way that DR used to work, at least in the past, is that it's only overcome by what is listed after the slash.
No, this was true in Pathfinder too. That only applies to physical. So DR applies to
didn't-
physical damage, and energy
didn't
resistance
really-
applies to energy.
I didn't really play a whole lot of Pathfinder, so...
I see.
I played none of it. Okay, good to know.
right,
I will-
resistance is for energy.
Right.
Okay, interesting.
DR is for physical.
Which is short for damage reduction or damage resistance?
Reduction.
Okay, got it. I'm glad that these things are
Take
very
it back.
clear.
Confusingly, they both reduce damage, but only one is called reduction and the other is resistance.
So yeah, what else does the Kaylin do with her turn?
I cast a wisp
Okay.
to give harrying fire, so the next attack gets +2.
All right.
And this wisp lasts heckin' 11 rounds now. And
Yeah.
then I move over here because I don't want to get it. I move over around the wall where it can't see me.
That's a smart move. All right, that will make it the Neotopet's turn, and it looks the Neopet's turn.
Herald really wishes he knew about that trample thing about 6 seconds ago.
Well, you can see that it seems to be shaking off some sort of strange condition that was placed upon it by Mouse. So it doesn't look like it's going to be doing much of anything this turn, which will bring us right back to Herald.
Nice work, Mouse. Whoop! I activate a jetpack. Actually, no, I don't need to. I have climbing suckers. Those are 20-foot climb speed, right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
So, you would climb up the wall.
Can you still make the whoop noise though?
Yeah. Sorry, I can't make the suction cup noises, but my mouth makes the whoop noise and my feet make a suction cup noise up the wall. However high I can go.
All right. Yeah. As indicated, this hallway is roughly 20 feet high. So.
All right. So that just brings me up to the ceiling. And then I will take another clever attack through that doorway, unless he has, like, major cover.
Not major cover. He's going to have partial cover on this one.
Is that like a 2?
I think so.
Alright, I can live with
You're
that.
getting a +1 for my coordinated shot, though.
I can live with that.
Also, it's probably going to be flat-footed, so... Ooh.
That's a good flat foot, I tell you what.
Yeah. So that is entirely energy, right? So
Correct.
it's against EAC. So that's effectively... Oh, yeah, and harrying fire. Yeah, you get it. Yeah.
However, I did not get him this turn.
Oh, you did not?
Right,
get
'cause
him.
you
Because you
moved.
moved.
Yeah.
Got it. Alright, so... Huzzah! That is 16 damage. Nobody is inside, so you didn't do half electricity damage to a trapped compatriot.
That's good.
All right. Yeah,
happy.
always a good thing to know, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, and that will bring us to Ninden.
All right, so Ninden's got a whole bunch of stuff on this guy, so he's just going to full attack.
Okay.
So, because it's a +2 for flanking, a -2 to his AC for flat-footed, so yeah, there's no reason not to full attack. So
I'd agree.
whips his Stormhammer around, flourishing. This is still bludgeoning and cold. Yes. Not. No. I have an Entangling Fusion on the weapon that I considered using. So that's a 28 for the first attack and a 27 for the second.
Oh yeah, those are both hits.
Goodness. So
Yeah.
that's 81 total.
But that actually, since your hammer is not
Prong.
made, since your hammer is not made out of adamantine.
Didn't I tell you, Seth? I actually made it out of. No.
It's ferromagnetic. I see that. I see what it's made out of.
Well, no,
dirty
ferromagnetic
cheater.
that is the classification of it. Like, you know.
Oh,
Aurora.
the ferro isn't
yeah.
a reference to the material.
No, it's just that's its level.
It's
But
made of
Seth, I was
thick
entirely trolling.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's made of
Well,
sickening.
'cause ferrous fibers. Now, I thought ferrous fibers meant like steel. Or am I wrong?
Probably. But anyway, it's no matter. I guess you take 10 points off of this total incoming damage.
Yeah. Which actually is just enough to kill it.
Oh.
So Ninden brings down his hammer a couple times, and the second smash is just enough to crush this metallic sphere. And you watch as this nanite-infused cloud of mist kind of drifts upwards and just kind of fades away into nothingness.
Ninden,
Wow.
Ninden considers his new hammer. I really like this hammer.
Herald descends from the ceiling.
Woo!
Oh boy.
So yes, that leaves you in the hallways and also inside of the room here that I described previously, containing desks with computer terminals.
All right, Mouse, get in here.
Woo!
She comes skating in on her speed skates.
Ugh. Kids in their Heelys.
Yeah.
I actually saw a kid wearing Heelys at PAX Unplugged, actually. It was the
Oh, yeah.
funniest thing.
Oh yeah, they're still around.
Yeah.
Heelys are still cool, bro.
They're just as cool as they always were.
I like the all right,
nerds, get to work.
Computers?
Yes,
Yeah, well-
if you would like to. Oh yes, what was the?
Well, I was just gonna say, Nerd Prime is doing her thing, which I assume is gonna take a little bit of time. Ger's gonna look over this sphere and see if there's anything salvageable or anything.
Not really. It's kind of a. It's the sum of its parts. You might be able to take a couple pieces off of it. You don't know if anybody would buy anything. Maybe you could use a couple things from it in the construction of some sort of mystical gear or something. In terms of mechanical loot, there isn't much here.
Cool.
Can
But
I
from
take 10?
Actually, that might be a good time to bring this up. I have been timing you guys. Because there is a mechanic in this book that is centered around how much time it takes you to complete this mission and what the results are depending on how long you take. And there are certain things you can do that may or may not alter the countdown timer in a positive or negative fashion. So yes, Mouse, you can take 10.
I don't think she meant 10 minutes. I think she meant take a 10 on the check.
Yeah.
Right, which means that it, taking a 10...
No, you're thinking of taking 20. Taking 20 takes more time. Taking a 10 takes the same amount of time, but you usually can't do it unless, except in very specific conditions, like operatives can do this.
So that would make the check a what? A 32?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to count that first roll as a roll, and the second as another. Taking a 10 is not enough for you to succeed, and there's an indication on the screen that if you fail one more time, the system will lock you out.
Well, we can't have that.
Who else is good at computers? Maybe you can assist.
You do have that computer idol.
Yeah, I do. I've got a computer idol.
You also have your friends.
Can you give me like a bonus or anything? I mean,
obviously the best.
Like, can you help?
Me? No, but I thought someone else had computers. Maybe I was
Doesn't
wrong.
Ger have computers?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, never mind.
Uh-oh.
So you have the option of trying again, which I have indicated will require a roll higher than 10. Or you can just leave it alone.
Yeah, what if something bad might happen? Do you have any consumables, Mouse? Or like limited number of things you can do a day that'll give you a bonus?
I can get a reroll. Thanks to Kaylin.
Yeah, she does have her D20 reroll as well.
Do you want to use it for this?
Well, I've got rerolls. I've got a reroll because of the computer idol, and then I've got one because of Kaylin.
You should absolutely use a reroll.
Yeah, let's use a reroll.
I would probably recommend the computer idol one just because Kaylin's can be utilized for literally anything.
Agree.
Yeah. Which is awesome. Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
I got a 32!
Oh no!
Exactly what I would have gotten!
Okay.
Hold on. So that was the reroll. That was the reroll of the 3, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. In that case.
So we haven't made another check.
Yeah.
And now that we have no totem, let's just leave this computer alone.
Okay. We walk away. You have to kind of drag her away.
It's okay, Mouse.
No, it's not.
Whoever set this up did a real good job, apparently.
If we succeeded at all of our checks, there would be no excitement to it.
Well, if you're done with the computer, shall I open this door?
Herald opens that door.
Oh, Captain, I do enjoy our games.
You get sucked out into space. No, I'm joking.
Ooh,
Speaking
deja
of Breath of
vu.
Ember's callback.
yeah, that trope.
I'm sorry, you get blown out into space. I'm sorry, I mess that up every time. So
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. Let's see. Let me go ahead and skip past all of this information.
Looks
All
like a
of this
lot of
information.
electricity.
Kind of skip past all that stuff that was inside that computer to get to the next room. So
You're mean.
The secrets of the universe.
as you enter this next room, it appears to be some sort of containment facility, something like a brig. On the other side of various force fields, you see very minimal bedding and lavatory confinements. There's a bunk in every one and a very simple multi-species lavatory provided. Most of them are empty. Some of them are not. Let's see.
Ooh.
Indicated in the northwestern corner, A, B, and C are some cells that have people in them. One on the bunk has a strange-looking husk. Let me. This is enough.
A husk?
I'm such a dingus.
I don't know.
This is untrue.
Don't
We're
copyright
all
names.
dingai here.
I dingus, you dingus.
All right, ding guys and ding girls.
Oh.
Let's see.
So yeah,
Save
that
changes.
fight,
and
huh?
Show 2 players. Boom.
But fight.
Ooh.
In 5A, the western one closest to the protrusion on the western side of the room, exists a brass-ish, golden-ish suit of armor. It looks like that's just laying on a bed. In 5B, you see just kind of sitting down, looking honestly pretty beat up, is a Demaya Lashunta.
Oh.
He
And what
doesn't
about
notice
5C?
you. He doesn't look up at you as you enter. 5C looks like it was previously occupied. The bed is disheveled. It looks like maybe there was a bit of a scuffle, but there is currently no occupant. It is simply disturbed, unlike the rest of the cells here.
Herald will rub his tentacles together and clear his throat. Ladies, gentlemen, and otherly gendered species. Today's scheduled prison bit break is brought to you by the Sundivers.
So there's no indication of awareness or movement from the suit of armor in 5A. However, the Lashunta man in 5B looks up, and he does something of a double take. You can tell that what he sees outside of the cell is not something he's used to seeing here. It's like, who are you?
The
Well-
Sundivers.
Yes, I'm Herald. This is Ninden, Gur, Mouse, Kalen. And who might you be?
He gets up and he puts his hands up against the force field as he tries to get a better look at, and you get a better look at him. You see that he's got a number of wounds on his person. It looks like he's undergone some pretty rough. He goes, I'm Major Joss Astina. No, I'm from. And as
Sorry,
soon as
what
he
was
says
that name again?
Joss.
Major Joss Whedon.
Yeah, Joss Whedon. It's,
I love your
Major.
films.
I will go ahead and refrain from making Joss Whedon jokes further. I'll just type his name.
I'm
into the
very
chat.
impressed with you, Seth.
He, as soon as he mentions that he's from Asana Town, you recognize his garb as being similar to the kind that you might find in the Lashunta mercenary corps located there.
Like the racist Lashunta, or just the regular old Lashunta?
He doesn't have the Sunrise Collective logo on his
Got it.
armor.
Well, I'll do. How did you get in here? How did the Malika group get their hot palms on you?
He just thinks about it for a moment. He goes, I was captured by the Brass Dragons. I was trying to do some investigations on these psychic disturbances and the things I was looking up. They brought me to Corona, and I was outnumbered. They took my weapon. Next thing I knew, I was here. I don't even know where I am right now.
Yeah, we've been
You
hearing a
happen to
lot
know-
of that today.
Do you happen to know why? What was the guy's name? Kurt?
Are you talking about the detective, or?
The person that we have on our ship right now.
Oh,
That was not. That was
Rickard.
Rickard. Yes.
Rickard. Do
Yeah,
you happen
like
to know
the-
a Rickard? Human guy?
Just shakes his head. The name's not familiar, no.
I'll do a sense motive, see if he's actually an Astrozoan spy.
Can't be too careful.
That's a very specific sense motive. I'm gonna do a sense motive to see if he's an Astrozoan spy. You don't get the impression that telling a lie here. He does not know the name Rickard.
Herald will mentally project to the rest of his team. You folks think we should trust him?
Sure, why not? Oh, also ask him, hey, buddy,
She says verbally.
do you know a Hazel?
He looks up and you see him cast his glance over at Fives, the northernmost cell, the one that's that's the name of the lady in that cell there.
Uh-oh.
What
Yeah.
happened to her?
They took her in for questioning. He gestures to the door over to the south.
Oh boy.
How long ago?
I don't know. I just looked up to see them take her. I haven't really been paying attention. I'm pretty hurt here. if you
Yeah. Is there an obvious like off switch for his cell?
Yeah, actually, these cells look like it would be very easy to power off.
All right. Sorry, what was that, Tom?
Oh, I was going to say, well, Ninden could always just smash them.
Or we can just press the off button.
I really like my new hammer, though.
Herald presses the off button.
Get it.
Yeah, you push the off button, and there's a shift in the air as a bunch of cold air comes from inside. It seems like these cells are conditioned to be more appropriate for the creatures that are occupying them, which only makes you realize how hot it's been kept inside of the Crucible. It's not enough where you're going to be like making checks to save against it or anything, but you are a little uncomfortable with how hot.
No,
And-
we have environmental controls.
Oh,
We're
okay.
fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You are unable to perceive any difference in temperature
No,
whatsoever.
we've got a heads-up display, okay?
But tell you what, if you weren't wearing armor, hoo boy,
It
would
says-
be noticeable.
Our helmets say if you were not in this armor, you would feel slightly uncomfortable. Just there's a little indicator for that in the corner.
Damn you,
And it's a-
Starfinder mechanics! Stop messing with my narration.
It's a little guy wiping his brow.
A continuous GIF. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And as the cold air rushes out, the little gif of the person is like, "Oh, that feels."
All of our head displays exclusively communicate ideas in GIFs.
And
Well, they
like
are
a-
universal.
okay.
Mouse is
a goofy
wandered
southern prospector for
Mouse has wandered over to the brass husk thing.
Okay.
And I was like, hello?
It's just a suit of armor. Although it's
I
a
don't-
sort of weird place to put that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna examine it with
Joss,
engineering.
Joss, force field comes down. He kind of stumbles out a little bit. It looks like he might catches him.
I've got a
reaches
medicine
out.
check. I can catch him and give him a look
A
over.
med-
No,
Yeah,
sorry,
if you-
not to catch him, but to like gauge the degree of his wounds.
I love the idea of him like I roll a medicine check to catch this person who's falling. Yeah, you can definitely utilize a medicine check to.
Not a great roll,
It's not the best.
but yeah,
It's
not-
ridiculous
also
to
not
say that a 28 is not a great roll, but no, it's more than enough. It's a Lashunta humanoid. You're familiar with how this body structure works, probably more so than many. If you were to put it in mechanical terms, you'd say he's somewhere below bloodied in terms of hit points. This is probably the result of an extensive amount of torture.
All right. We probably shouldn't spend too much time getting you back up to shape, since we should, rescue that woman who's actively being tortured. But if you make your way back towards the hangar, you can get onto our ship, and there's someone else there, Rickard, who seems to have been in a similar situation than you. Maybe he can help you feel better in combination with our med bay.
Yeah. What's going on here? Like, this seems like a pretty extreme response to just looking into this.
Yeah,
This psychic.
they're trying to conquer the sun.
What?
They're trying to you heard me the first time.
Oh no, sorry, he's confused. Mataris.
He kind of gives you a look, like, and then realizes he doesn't know what the heck you are. It's like he's never seen an Asen before. He's like, what the weirdo alien telling me Mataris, like I'm a 5-year-old. He goes, what do you mean take over the sun? You can't take over the sun. That doesn't
Well,
make sense.
You can take over all the bubble cities in it.
You mean the archipelago? They're gonna attack the archipelago?
Yeah, and for good measure, they're also trying to take Noma and, the name of the Anasanoi and
Colonel.
Kalinal, that's
Yeah.
it.
He furrows his brow, and Noma, Kalinal, neither of these names seem to mean anything to him.
Yeah, I know,
Giving you the impression that maybe captured for a while.
You're
goes,
just name dropping the name drop at this point.
Yeah, we're pretty
Look,
important.
we don't have time to explain everything to you. Get on our ship, stay safe, and we will be back as soon as our business is done.
Here's our
Dude.
comm channels, in case anything happens.
Does the archipelago know?
Oh, they know. But they can't do that much against a fleet of ships that can go through the sun. Look, we're on it, okay?
Yeah. Thanks. So you kind of give him directions back to the ship.
Before he goes, real quick, Ninden just jerks his thumb over his shoulder. Do you know anything about the suit of armor in this cell?
No, I mean it was dead when they came here. They were talking about it like it's some sort of fae or something. I don't know. Some lady wearing important looking officer style armor was talking about how she wants to examine it.
Huh. All right.
Interesting.
Mouse promptly opens the door to examine it.
You don't feel the rush of cool air from inside of the cell as you do so.
Cool. All right.
If somebody would like to use a mysticism check, I can tell you as much as I can about this.
I'll do a medicine check and be totally confused.
29.
36 medicine.
What is up with these recall knowledge checks, y'all?
Again, I got a 15. This is about as good as Ninden can do.
Right.
I got the one that mattered.
Yeah, the one. That's insane. That's the second recall knowledge 1 you've rolled. That's
Right?
I can't. Okay.
Saving the good rolls.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The DC was 30, so I'll just go ahead and give it to Ninden and Gur when the Lashunta the hint that it's a Fae. So you think about it for a bit, and you kind of seeing armor like this. You think it belongs to a creature called a Hulsa, Hulsa. They are generally connected to radiance and the stars. They are known to teaching others about the physical phenomena of the universe, and that they use their powers to bless those that are respectful or punish the insolent. Their typical desires upon death are to be burned in solar fire, or if there is no star present, to be set adrift in the void.
Oh. And this one seems dead already?
Oh, it's super
Yeah,
dead.
Is there a way to confirm that? Oh, we're just okay.
I did a medicine check.
Yeah, Herald did a medicine check, and as far as Herald can discern from, Fey anatomy, there's no response coming from this at all. And nobody can sense any mystical energies that would denote a living Fey present in this husk.
Well, with the knowledge of their typical wishes for, cremation by star, Ninden is going to gently put it into his null space chamber.
I knew it. All right.
And as gently, respectfully as he can, inserts it into his null space
Respectfully
chamber.
dumped into my pocket.
And says to the rest of the group, it's a Fae, like the guy said. They're like sun Fae, effectively. They're about radiant things. They like to be disposed of by starfire. So once we're done here, we just need to dump this out the airlock, and I think that'll please it.
All right. I'm convinced.
Yeah, this is one of those situations you really have to take your friend's word for it.
Now I'm really leaning towards rescuing. Oh, I see. I opened the door.
Herald goes to the door that was indicated previously by the Lashunta Jas Astino. And as it opens, you look over this room. There's a desk in front of you. The chair closest to the door has restraints on it. And on the other side is an Ifrit and an Azur, who both look over to you as you enter. The Ifrit going, "What the hell are you doing here?" And that is where we'll stop for today.
A prison break.
And that is where we'll stop for today.
Didn't we kill these guys already? I could have sworn we killed these guys already.
Look, they don't give me a lot of portraits here, so I gotta recycle. I have to use every part of the buffalo, Nick.
Sometimes you have to use the same part multiple times.
That's true. Sometimes you have to use the same leg bone to bash in several skulls.
Yeah.
Sounds legit.
Oh man. All right.
So I did a lot more preparation than we actually got to today. So
Yeah,
I'm
there
kinda
was a lot of RP.
Oh, which is fine. Trust me. When I was looking at this, and for anybody from Paizo who's listening in, this is an amazing final book. It's great. I'm not in any way trying to say that I don't like this, because it's effectively, the entire book is a massive sandbox, and the players can go wherever they want. There's a lot of things happening here that is interconnected to other things happening throughout the entire area. This map that you're on, you've seen maybe an eighth of it.
Wow.
It's sprawling.
Yeah, we should go
And
back to the map and do a scroll out. It's pretty impressive.
and while it would be, it's I think it's going to be a lot of fun for the players. The DMs are going to have a little bit of a headache setting it up, but I mean, I think it's so cool that I can't wait to see how this all plays out. I just wish that it wasn't on a live show, so that if they run into something I'm not ready for, I can't just be like, "Hey, everybody, let's chill out for a moment. I'm going to reread this section." Like, not quite something I can do.
Take 10. We'll be back in a bit.
Get the rights to the song "Take 5." Just play that while I do a little reading.
Do you even
Have
need
I-
to
have
at
I
this
ever
point? I
said-
think it's public domain. Isn't it old enough?
I don't.
Nothing is public domain ever again, remember?
Yeah.
Disney made sure of that.
Yeah, Disney owns Take 5.
Don't think they own Take. Oh, all right, we're not getting into this.
No, but they did prevent anything from getting into public domain. Sorry, Disney. We don't mean to insult you. Please don't
Our
sue us.
future Disney overlords.
Yeah, Star Wars is great. You can't do a bad Star Wars
Especially
movie.
The Last Jedi.
Oh, it's so good. It's my favorite.
I would
Never-
argue that I liked The Last Jedi better than Rise of Skywalker. but-
Really? Interesting. Yeah, I like
We might have
Skywalker
to talk about
more.
this.
We don't need
might
to
have
talk about it on the
this
stream, though.
after the show. I don't know if we have anything specific to address. I guess I should probably find out if we're playing next weekend. Is anybody busy on the 29th, or are we good to go?
I'm good to go.
Heck yeah.
I'm good to go as well.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Good. I guess we'll be here next week. Oh my God. Cosmic Crit. I'm an episode behind. Did they wrap it up on the last episode?
I think the last one was supposed to be the wrap up. Yeah.
Okay.
We might.
But I'm also behind. I haven't been doing any driving.
We did.
Oh, yeah.
They did wrap up. I don't know if they're doing a postmortem this week, but we concluded the story.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. So we might be dealing with like the retrospective
Yes.
on the campaign this week, which will be cool to listen to because I want to know what people think about Against the Aeon Throne. There's Against the Aeon Throne was a pretty interesting AP. It's a very different direction from Dead Sons, that's for sure. Where you're playing like the heroes that are going out to save the galaxy, and then in Against the Aeon Throne, you're playing a bunch of jerks who are just going into the vast and beating up some Nazis. Essentially, is what you're doing.
Playing Glorious Bastards is fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. I
There's
dig it.
definitely still room to play good people in that campaign, but it
There
doesn't.
is.
It doesn't railroad you into being good people.
Right, yeah. When you're a Starfinder, you pretty much have to be a good person, or at the very least, neutral. So,
Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. I didn't want to end on a combat, because I don't know
Well-
how long that's going to take.
Forever. Just a reminder, you have like just a little bit more than a week, like a week and a half, to put in your guesses for what we're going to play next season.
Indeed.
Because that's going to wrap up at the end of the month, and we'll announce the winners probably the 5th. I would imagine the 5th we'll announce the winner. There's a small pool. If you haven't put in guesses, do it, because there's not that many of you who listen to every episode.
That's true.
So if you're one of
Spam
our loyal
spam that link.
followers, yeah, make sure you're getting that, because you have a really good chance of winning this one, much better than the Cosmic Crits.
Yeah. A lot more people listen to Cosmic Crit, so
Yeah, they have a much bigger audience than we do.
I don't mean to brag, but our small viewership has a much better chance of being rewarded for so keep abreast of things on the Discord. We'll post the chats. We'll post it in at the bottom of the video, and hopefully somebody can dethrone the person who has 3 out of 10 bits correct. If I remember correctly, that's still the highest one so far. So
Yes. Guess our bits.
guess our bits. That's the name of the competition. Guess.
It is now.
All right.
Hashtag horny show.
Well, guess who has what bits? That's gonna do it. So go ahead and if you would like. Anybody?
You cut out.
Oh, I said say goodbye if
Goodbye,
Say goodbye if you would
everyone.
like.
Like,
All right, Tom. Are we gonna have problems?
I think that was a pretty funny joke.
You trying to start something, son?
I think you're a joke. I don't know about the funny part.
I think you're a funny joke, Tom.
Well, goodbye, everybody.
All right, yeah, we'll be here next week. At least I guess most of us will probably be here next week. I think we might have some stuff to talk about, it sounds like. But until then, take care of yourselves, everyone.